Hello everybody, boys and girls and Raider and Rocket fans of all ages. Welcome to the 118th edition of the oldest high school rivalry in the United States. It's the Needham Rockets versus the Wellesley Raiders. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm Chris Stevens and I'm joined by Mike Riley from Needham. And Michael, we've done this before. When these two teams get together, it's always a barn burner.
Well, Chris, happy Thanksgiving to you, and thanks for having us here today and the wonderful hospitality the Wellesley Channel does. And you're absolutely right. It always is a barn burner, and today may be a little slush fest too. There's snow on the ground and it's starting to rain right now. It's going to be messy, it's going to be wild, but more importantly, it's going to be a very good game.
Well, it should be a slippery, sliding slugfest here. It's been a tale of two seasons for the Wellesley Raiders. They started off with 5 big wins, and they were actually ranked by the Boston Globe, just like they did last year. They started off 6-1. Last year, things kind of fell apart for the Raiders as they lost the last few games, including losing to Needham. But last week, they were able to get back on track to be able to beat Norwood. Mike Riley, these are two very similar teams. We both lost to Natick, Walpole, Newton North. The only difference is we eked out one over Norwood, and you guys were beaten.
Well, who didn't lose to Natick? Natick went undefeated, and Walpole, too. You look at that. They're in the Herget division there. 9 wins, 1 loss, and they're not even getting a playoff spot, as we were talking about before. Here's Newton North. They're like 7-3, I think, or 7-4. They're going to the playoffs, and Walpole has a better record than them. So I think the Bay State Conference may want to investigate on a future wild card spot somewhere down the road.
Well, I don't know if we can tip those rules, okay, but I'm sure Andy Levin would have put his bid in for that.
We will see what happens. But, you know, the thing is, with Needham now, we do know that Rich Mazzola will not be starting at quarterback. He's a junior quarterback. We'll have Billy Reardon in there as a senior. This is going to be quite an honor for Reardon, though, as a senior, to be playing on the final game he knows of his last game of his high school career, and he's starting as a quarterback. And you also have the return of number 23, Connor Sullivan, who was out after the Walpole game. He was in there with garbage time left, about 2 minutes to play, and he broke his ankle. He was out the entire season, and now he's back today. I don't know if he's starting. We did not have a chance to talk to Coach Duffy about that, but he is expected to see some playing time here this afternoon. Also, Roy Lockhart. Do not be surprised if you see Roy Lockhart come in at the quarterback position for Needham. Number 12, do not be surprised. You heard it here first.
Oh, there you go, Michael.
All right.
Well, these are slippery conditions out here. They are both running teams and very good running teams, and we are almost ready for the opening and kickoff, and we will be back with the opening and kickoff in just a minute. We are back with action here, and the Wellesley High School a cappella group just doing a terrific job with the national anthem. Michael Riley, Chris Stevens bringing you to this 118th meeting of the oldest rivalry in the country, and that is not snow in your TV problem. That's snow on the field, Michael. It's a slippery, nasty day.
And it's starting to rain right now, as we said, too. We were back here before, and it's going to be wet. It's going to be muddy. We saw a wet game here in 1999, Chris, the last one of the century. Wellesley won that one 24-8, and it was rain, it was muddy, it was cold. It kind of reminds me of this, but there was no snow in that equation there.
Well, we are almost ready to kick off here, and in the spirit of equality and everything, we're going to kind of do a little bit of a flip-flop on the broadcast, because I'm sure you get sick of hearing my voice, but Michael Riley will do the play-by-play in the first and the third quarters. I'll take it in the second and the fourth quarter. Michael, it looks like the Wellesley Raiders have won the toss, and they've surprised everybody by coming out of here in brand-new uniform, trying to pull a little bit of the Fighting Irish.
That's right, and we're all set to go. The 118th meeting, Matt Macheski will kick off for the Rockets. Back to receive Darrell Warren, and 41 for the Raiders, and the 118th inning is underway here from Wellesley High School. It goes over the head of Andy Elfman, and it is going right before the end zone. Elfman's coming up on the 10-yard line, down to the 15 to the 20, and he's stopped on the 25. We have a flag on the play. We will see what that is about. It's most likely going to be a holding call, and 6 seconds through the first quarter of play, there's a flag. We'll find out what it is.
Nice job by Lockhart there coming in and making a whack, but the Raiders are definitely going to be called for a push in the back. It looked like it was marginal, but on those kickoffs, Mike, that oftentimes the special teams is really critical.
Absolutely, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. We'll have a 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and the Raiders will begin their drive deep in their own territory at about the 5-yard line.
Well, the Raiders will feature the wing T offense, and again, Danny Aleska, number 10, is your quarterback. Your tailbacks are Darrell Warren, number 19, number 41, co-captain Andrew Elfman, and the fullback is Mark Snickerberger, 43.
Needham defense on the defensive line, number 50, Taylor Kay, number 71, Eric Rubin, 56, Harry Freed, and 55, Matt Walsh. We'll get to the rest of that in a moment. We have a handoff here to Elfman. No, I'm sorry. That's James Bagay. No,
that would have been probably been Snickenberger. It's kind of hard to see that. That was Mark Snickenberger, the fullback.
43. It's one of the 40s.
But he was able to push it up over the 10-yard line till about the 14-yard line. So it looks like it's going to set up about a 2nd and 2, Mike.
Marshall Poland had the stop there for the Rockets, and 2nd and 2 for the Raiders. at their own 13-yard line.
On the 14-yard line.
You're going to see a lot of balls being cleaned off here, and there's a penalty. It's actually been declined.
I think they say it was offsides on the Needham Rocket defense, but they picked up 8 on the play, so they're willing to give up the down in order to pick up 3 more yards.
Absolutely.
And when you're deep in your own territory, I guess that's pretty valuable.
2nd and 2 for the Raiders on their own 13-yard line. Snickenberger with the run there for 8 yards. And now again,
looks like Elfman cut it back across the line and got over the 15-yard line. He needed to get to about the 16.5.
Matt Walsh in on the tackle.
Andrew Elfman, that's a very, very difficult, Mike, with this wing T offense. You're going to see Elfman carry the ball out. You'll see Darrell Warren 19 carried, and you'll see Snickenberger. And I'd venture to guess that you'll probably see this ball stay on the ground a lot, certainly deep in their own territory. I don't see Danny Luska putting it in the air.
As you just saw, Andy Elfman there, and 3rd and 1 for the Raiders at their own 15-yard line. 2 backs, 1 wideout. And another handoff, and they'll have a first down. That was 43, Mark Snickenberger. And the Raiders have a first down on their own 17-yard line. So after the penalty and another declined one, the Raiders get themselves a first down here in their opening drive, Chris.
Yeah, nice run by Snickenberger, following the right side of that offensive line. Number 66 is Will Cooper. Number 52 is David Kamara. And the center, number 54, Alex Eichenbaum, doing a nice job of paving the way, getting just enough for the first down.
As promised, the rest of the Needham defense, Marshall Poland in there, Brian Nichols, Bobby Riley, Roy Lockhart, Matt Machewski, and Miles Walker at the safety position. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 18. Flag on the play right away. There's 2 of them, as a matter of fact, and another handoff to Elfman. A 3rd one, and there we're going to have some major penalties here.
There's so much laundry in the field, it looks like my son's room.
It goes.
But you had 1 man in motion in the backfield, which is what stopped the play. And then I think you had another penalty, which is going to hold it. But I believe the play will not get underway. They'll have to call it back in total.
Right, and let's see exactly.
Darrell Moore was in motion, but the penalty had already been called.
Looked like 19 may have had him. Darrell Warren may have had one of the defensive linemen at first. Then the 3rd one came at the end there. It's all on Wellesley, and Wellesley's going to be backed up all the way to their, looks like back to square one where they started. Maybe at the.
Well, they're going to go back to about the 6-yard line, and that will move them back. And again, on the illegal motion, it did not stop the play,
right,
but the holding penalty was accepted. It's more yards, so it's going to set up a 1st and 15.
They got the free play there with the 3 flags thrown right away by the umpires and the back judge.
On the 10-yard line.
1st and 17 for the Raiders from their own 10-yard line. Under 10 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score. Raiders beginning their drive. They had a first down and a penalty that just went back. And Elfman again with the carry. Great defensive stop by the Needham defensive line. Harry Freed and Matt Walsh as well. And Taylor Kane as well. It was like the running of the Bulls there.
Well, the difficult thing about this kind of conditions is that if you're just going to run the ball, Wellesley's offense is such that Needham will pack in about 10 guys in between the hash marks that you cannot see right there. And unless they run some misdirection, Mike, I don't think they're going to be able to move this ball against this good Needham Rocket defense.
We did say the weather conditions may slow things down too, Chris, with the snow and the mud. Needham will have their chance afterwards once they get possession. 2nd and 16 for the Raiders at their own 11-yard line. We have not seen a pass yet. And a pitch out to Elfman, immediately stopped in the play by Bobby Riley. Oh, excuse me, Harry Freed. Harry Freed.
Yeah,
sorry.
Terrific job by Harry Freed of anticipating the pitch out. They tried to get Darrell Warren wide on that, so the Raiders are going in the wrong direction here. If they're not careful, they're going to be back in the locker room before they know it.
I really do apologize. I saw the 6 there in the end. It was Harry Freed. Very nice tackle by Freed and a good stop on Elfman. Another loss of about 4 yards for the Raiders. 3rd and 22 in their own 7-yard line, Chris.
I guess you could say things are getting kind of hairy on defense out there, Michael. Nice job by Freed of anticipating, and now the Raiders are looking at, a 3rd and a furlong.
Yeah. You most likely will see a pass there. I guess not. A very conservative call. Elfman carried it, and the Rockets will receive here as the Raiders will punt. So we saw all running plays there, and they ate up the clock for 4 minutes, Chris.
Well, we see the Needham Rocket defense come out. First of all, when you get a penalty on the opening kickoff, it takes away all the momentum. These kids come out here all excited and ready to go, and all of a sudden you're back on your own goal line. So head coach Bill Tracy looking to be a little bit more conservative here, hoping that he can get a good punt out of number 41, Andrew Elfman. But the Rockets should end up with terrific field position.
Well, Elfman will punt away, and back to receive for the Rockets, Roy Lockhart and Miles Walker. Here's the punt. It's not a bad one, and it goes to Walker. did not call for the fair catch at the 45, and he's going on the 40 of Wellesley. Now he's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, and there's a flag on the play. A flag on the play after Walker went out of bounds. It may be on Needham, and Needham's not looking happy.
Well, it's Walker on Walker, and J.D. Walker with a nice job, but they're going to call a push in the back on the Needham Rockets. So on special teams play, Mike, we've seen on both of the kicks infractions by both of the receiving teams.
Within a matter of less than 4 minutes into the game, 4 penalties, Chris.
Well, the Rockets still are going to start with great field position. They've got the ball at the 47-yard line of the Raiders.
It's 1st and 10 for the Rockets at the 47. I formation. First look at Billy Reardon as the starting quarterback goes to James Nah, and taken down on the play by
Jack Morrissey, doing a good job of getting in the backfield. There's 7:28 left to go. If you're just joining us, we're just underway. The Rockets are going from right to left on your screen in their white and their gold travel uniforms, and the Raiders in a new look for them. That's a red and black look for the Raiders.
And the funny thing too, Wellesley was out on the field practicing with their black jerseys. As we were talking before the pregame show, Wellesley came out with their red jerseys to start the game. So 2nd and 10, no gain on the play at the 47-yard line. Billy Reardon, the senior quarterback, starting. It goes to Nah again up the middle, and he'll be taken down for a gain of about 2 yards.
Scott Grillo with a nice job of being able to close him in there, and then 29 Connor Green came up and made the play. On the defensive side of that ball for the Raiders, you've got 66 Will Cooper, 1D tackle, Boston College bound Thomas Claiborne, number 82, and you've also got Gilbert Proceed in there, number 73.
Here's your Needham offense today. Billy Reardon, your quarterback. Number 9, Matt Machunsky at the wide receiver. On the offensive line, we have Kevin Friedenberg. Also Brian Jakes, Tony DeChico, your center. We'll go to that in a moment. We got 3rd and 7 now for the Rockets at the Wellesley 43. Another I formation. Expect a lot of running here, as we've seen all season long. Trying to throw Needham off guard. That may be an offsides. It's going to be, as James Nah gets a free play. Another flag. So there's 2 flags. The first one immediately, that will most likely be offsides on Wellesley. We got another one here on the far side near the hash mark.
Well, anytime when you come out on Turkey Day, it's such a great rivalry between these two schools. You know the kids are all excited. They got a sense of anticipation. And again, Thomas Claiborne jumped off sides once, and you see the tackle there. Again, Snickenberger in on the play along with Gilbert Proceed and Claiborne, but not until there was an infraction against Wellesley, and it's going to give them a free 5 yards, 3rd and 2.
Yeah. Offsides called against the Raiders. It's 3rd and 2 for the Rockets at the Wellesley 38-yard line. Game time temperature this morning, 38 degrees. Snow has stopped, starting to rain a little bit, drizzle in the air. Packed house here from Wellesley's Hunnewell Field for the 118th meeting. Another motion from the defensive line. And motion for Murphy. Pitch out goes to Nah. Goes to the 30. The 35 rather. And good for a first down as the Rockets continue their drive in Wellesley territory.
Nice job by James Nah of finding the seam there. It looked like he was going to be blocked up, but he had some good traction there, and he was able to make the cut and kick back.
Another flag. Here's Nah's cut, though, as you say.
No, they're saying, I think that they're telling these guys they got to move the chains back. This may be an infraction against Needham, and I think, you know what, it may not just be the players that are all excited out there. The Zebras are certainly throwing the laundry around very, very much. They ought to let the kids play.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be back now. Illegal infraction called against Needham here.
I think we must have some Needham Rocket fathers over there working the chain gang, because they were anxious to get that jewelry moved so they can have the first down, but it is a penalty against Needham.
A little biased opinion, huh?
Oh, no, not at all. Just was curious over there.
No. All right, Rockets will have 4th and 3, we'll give them, at the Wellesley 34, and they're going to go for it.
5-yard penalty.
I thought it was only 3rd down.
3rd down, yeah 30. I'm sorry. Okay, it's not going to be back. Make up your mind here with the chain here. Come on. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 for the Rockets. We're having some problems over there with the chain crew, as you can see. Number 3, the guy holding up the 3rd down marker, was doing a little dance.
The Wellesley coaching staff get a verbal there saying they missed the mark. Now, what always usually happens is that the side judge tells that chain not to move until they get a sign from the referee. They didn't. They got whoever was running the chains that moved it. So they actually missed what the original line of scrimmage was. I think that's what the debate is right now.
Of course, we don't know. We don't have instant replay in high school, so the video cannot come in their favor. Now they're going to move them back even further. So kind of bizarre.
I believe that the Wellesley staff prevailed on that because that was the original line of scrimmage. Now they're marking it back 5 yards.
All right, it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Rockets at the Raider 46-yard line. Clock still runs. 44, I'm sorry, yes, thank you. 3rd and 7 for the Rockets at the Wellesley 44-yard line. Motion from Nog, goes to the left. Reardon, we'll see his pitch out. Oh my goodness, and somebody just got clobbered. Brian Nichols got clobbered and it was incomplete. There was a fumble on the play.
Well, Thomas Claiborne absolutely leveled. It was I love the call because it was a little shovel pass that was thrown and it looked like a terrific play, but you'll see nice fake here and then the shovel pass up and boom.
Dan Murphy got leveled.
So all 300 pounds leveled Mr. Murphy, and now will set up a 4th and 8 with 5:23 left to go in the first quarter. And we'll see if Needham may say, hey, look, you know what? We don't know what we're going to gain on a punt here, but who's the punter for Needham? That'd be Machunsky, right?
Machunsky, and back to receive Darrell Warren and Andy Elpin for the Raiders. 5:23 to go, no score here in the first quarter, and the Rockets will force to punt on 4th and 8 from the Wellesley 43-yard line. Snapping is Tony DeChico, and Machunsky with the kick. Not a bad one.
Oh,
pretty
lovely
good.
kick.
Goes to the 20, and Elpin calls for the fair catch.
Wow, Machunsky, just a beautiful spiral kick.
You know, I'm just getting flashbacks a couple years ago. If you remember that fair catch there with Dan Haggerty, it got fumbled. Wellesley recovered the ball, and that made them score to win the game 20-18 over the Rockets 2 years ago in 2003.
Yeah, that was, and I think you guys were playoff bound that year, as I recall.
That was Wellesley's Super Bowl.
Well, this is both of their teams' Super Bowl today. And again, I think what we're going to see here is a little bit of position playing by both coaches saying, you know what, let's play the field position game. Let's not take a lot of chances here. If we get down and get a break, we'll take 6 points and then maybe nurse that lead.
Wellesley on their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Raiders. We have motion, and it goes to Snickenberger, and stopped on the play.
6 yards.
Nice.
By number 36.
Miles Walker with the stop.
Boy, it's great to see Miles Walker out here. I have such fond memories of his brother, Jamie Walker. And Jamie Walker was in that same Pop Warner backfield with Darren Gallup and Greg Gatto. And we certainly know about the tragic losses of those two outstanding young men. But it's a great family. And Miles Walker's turned into a terrific player.
Absolutely. Looked up to his older brother, Jamie Walker, graduate of the class of 2003 at Needham High School. Played on that 2002 team. And they actually beat the Raiders 17-0 at Needham. And a handoff to
Darrell Warren gets it up.
19, yeah, surprised about that one. Roy Lockhart with the stop on Warren and may have gotten a yard or two. Now they got the first down. All right, 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Looked like he just got the first down. That time you saw Warren do a little bit of juking left and right before he was actually then buried by Harry Freed. Nice job by Freed on the tackle. But good job by Warner getting just what he needed.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 30-yard line. Clock still runs, 4:15 to play. No score here in the first quarter. Mike Bradley, Chris Stevens joining you from Wellesley's Hunnewell Field. The Needham Channel and the Wellesley Channel present the 118th meeting, the oldest high school football rivalry in the country, as Elfman brings it up the middle. And Snickenberger, rather.
Good job by Snickenberger of keeping his head down there, following number 54, Alex Eichenbaum, right up the middle. You know, I'm watching DeStazo and Bobby Riley play that middle linebacker position. Those two kids are just terrific athletes, and they seem to have a beat on the ball on every single play.
Very nice article about Greg DeStazo in the Needham Times yesterday, talking about how he's an underrated player on the Rocket football team. It's 2nd and 6 for the Raiders at their own 34. And a blitz right away, but there's a fumble. Needham is saying that they have recovered. They're signaling it. We'll get the official call from the referee. Wellesley's got it, though.
Well, I think Wellesley picked up, but it's a very difficult play to run. That scissor play where you basically do a double handoff under these conditions, you're asking the team to do a lot, and that time they were not able to execute it very well. You see the ball goes on the carpet, and Elfman gets a lucky basketball bounce right back up into his hands.
And as you can see, Freed just dragged along with the snow there. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders from their own 37.
3 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And 2 backs in the backfield for the Raiders. Another blitz goes to Elfman, rather. Nice spinneroonie. Elfman breaks the tackle going past midfield, the 45, and he's going to be dragged out of the play by Bobby Riley. But the Raiders with great field position now in Needham territory.
A 34-yard run by Andrew Elfman. A terrific job of taking the initial contact. Mike, we talk about the quality, the sign of a great running back is to be able to make yards after contact. You'll see Elfman split the seam here. He spins, he gets hit by Miles Walker, shakes that off, shakes Lockhart, and then gets chased down.
I did it again. I said it was Riley, it was Freed. I'm sorry.
Harry Freed with great pursuit, and Andrew Elfman's very, very speedy, so Harry Freed's got some giddy up and go.
I'm telling you, they're killing me with these short sleeve shirts. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the Rocket 38-yard line. First time in Needham territory today. And a handoff up the middle to Snickenberger.
Nothing much happening there. Again, Bobby Riley in on the play, doing a good job, along with Taylor Kane, number 50, making the contact. Again, the Raiders started to try to mix up at least which side of the ball, left side, right side, so they're not quite as predictable. You can see Snickenberger go in there, and he's just got nowhere to go. Taylor Kane right in on the play, number 50. Good job, Taylor.
Taylor's only a junior. 2nd and 9 for the Raiders at the Rocket 37-yard line. And we're approaching the 1:30 mark here in the first quarter. No score. Raiders in the red, Rockets in the white. Raiders moving left to right. And a pitch out to Darrell Warren as he goes at the 30-35 and pushed out of bounds. The play there by Riley. And the Raiders driving, and they get another first down.
Bobby Riley coming from his outside or inside linebacker position. Warren did a good job of making the cut here, and you'll see him come out. And Danny Pollock does a great job of making a block, but not committing a foul there. A lot of times you'll see a wide receiver hold, and Darrell Warren gets all the way down to the 22-yard line. Obviously, Mike, this is the best drive we've seen in the game by either team.
Absolutely. Wellesley is making a statement here. 1st and 10 on the Rocket 23-yard line, and they're threatening to do more. And motion from Darrell Warren. Goes to Snickenberger, a fumble, and the Rockets recover. Needham recovers. Roy Lockhart recovers the fumble, and Snickenberger lost it, and the Rockets will take over.
Well, the normally reliable Mark Snickenberger, holds on to that ball usually with 2 arms around it, but he took a terrific pop right on the ball. He coughed it up, and Harry Freed looks like he's having just an all-star game today. I think Freed with the hit, Lockhart with the recovery.
Absolutely. Freed with a devastating hit on Snickenberger, and the Rockets recover. So the Wellesley drive put to rest as the Rockets will take over from their own 23-yard line. 1:16 to play here in the first quarter. No score. And now on the little motion from him. There's a flag on the play.
I think they had two guys made motions at the same time, which is something you can't do. I think it's an illegal procedure.
Yep. So 5 yards back. It'll be 1st and 15 now for the Rockets at their own 18-yard line. Wellesley with a very successful drive there, Chris, but just squashed.
Well, it's old Yogi Berra said it ain't over till it's over, right. You don't have points on the board until you cross the goal line. And that time, Snickenberger had his sights on him. Harry Freed, who's just playing a terrific game, really laid the leather to him.
Yep. 1st and 10, 1st and 15 for the Rockets at their own 18-yard line. Got 2 wideouts, more motion from Nye. I've never seen it like this before for the Rockets this year. And we'll have Greg DeStazo with the carry for the Rockets.
DeStazo, pick up a 5, tackle number 25.
I love how Dan Murphy at his wideout position there, when he makes a block on a defensive secondary guy, he stays with his block. A nice job by Murphy, but all the action was inside that time. You see, again, a host of Raider tacklers in on the play there. Darrell Warren, number 19, and number 43, Snickenberger as well.
Well, if it weren't for that penalty, it could be 2nd and 5 for the Rockets. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 now for the Rockets at their own 24. Tanara goes and stopped by Claiborne.
Jack Morrissey with a terrific hit at the initial point of contact, but Nod, again, doing a nice job of spinning off. And Claiborne seemed to have mopped up, and it looks like they got no gain of the play, maybe a loss of yard. Call it 3rd and 11, Mike.
Yep. 3rd and 11 for the Rockets at their own 22-yard line. They are playing with the clock here in the first quarter as it runs down to 15 seconds. No score. Might just get one more playoff or see what happens. They're going to go for it here. Clock still runs 8 seconds, now down to 7. This will be the last play of the first quarter, as we will have no score. Reardon's going to pass it, and he's going to keep it. Reardon goes to the 20-yard line, or the 25-yard line. So we're looking at about 3rd and 7 from the Needham 26. But in the meantime, after one full quarter of play, no score. We will switch sides here from Hunnewell Field. We'll be back in a moment to continue the 118th meeting. Actually, we'll take a look at the play there momentarily. Reardon.
Yeah, I love how Reardon took a look and said he didn't have anything, trying to make something out of it, as opposed to, and again, he hasn't had a chance to play a lot this year, the last couple of weeks, but he showed some real maturity there. He tucked the ball in and got as much as he could, giving Machunsky, with that terrific foot of his, a chance to be able to perhaps get the ball deep into Raider territory.
All right, I guess we're not going to a break. We're not going to the break. They were telling us before we're not. Okay, never mind. The Raiders will take over here. And for the second quarter play-by-play, Mr. Chris Stevens.
Well, we really want to thank, again, everybody, all the volunteers who come out and help make this broadcast possible. It's just a great group of people. They don't do this for money. They do it for the love of the game and for both of these towns. And Eddie Duddy's got the replay and tapes going. Paul Duddy's on the field camera. Frank Walls is also down there giving you some great sideline shots. Steve Gustin's on the main camera up here right next to us underneath this protector. Yep. Scott Madden is at a camera, and he's the grip. Adam Spencer, who had a few highlights of his own on these fields back for the Wellesley Raiders, is one of the cameras and grips. Mark Mandel is your director. George Gannon's the spotter. Jose Lapointe is the technical support. Eric Morris is handling the stats for us. And Natalie Denglade has got the audio and the graphics. Eric, you got some good stats there?
That's right, I do. So far, Wellesley's easily winning the rushing battle with 51 yards to Needham 11 yards. Needham has racked up more penalty yards than rushing yards.
There you go, Chris.
Thanks, Eric. That's good. We call abbreviated stats. We may come back to you there. Matt Machunsky getting ready to kick it away. Elpin and Warren are deep. Here comes a rush. And it looks like they may have gotten a piece of it. The Raiders want to get away from it. Well, I don't know what.
The Rockets are saying they recovered, though.
I don't know what Kamara is thinking, number 52, but he was hovering over the ball. If he touches that, that's a live ball. So the Wellesley Raider team pretty concerned about that. Machunsky had kind of a pop. I don't know if they got a piece of it or not, but the Raiders have good field position at the 37-yard line. Well, they were taking over 1st and 10.
Let's see if we have that.
It was a strong rush from the right side of that line, Mike, but I just think that perhaps he just got a little bit of a sandwich on it.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right. Needham was saying that they had the ball, saying that Wellesley touched it. Wellesley obviously has it, though. That was a horrendous punt.
Senior quarterback Dan Oleska, number 10, brings out the Raiders. He's got Elfman and Darrell Warren behind him. Darrell Warren in motion. Check that Snickenberger behind him. Handoff, it goes out to Elfman, who pitch out, actually tries to get outside. Still working his wheels, gets down and spins, gets down to about the 31-yard line. Picks up really close to about 5 yards on the play. Call it 2nd and 5.
Greg DeStazo with the stop there on Elfman, pushed him out of bounds in the last second. Really would have liked to see that replay there on that kickoff, but that was the punt rather. But Elfman gets 4 yards on the play there, and Raiders still in possession on Needham's 33-yard line. 2nd and 5 for the Raiders at the Rocket 33.
Ball the 32-yard.
Call it 2nd and about 5. They will only give him 5 on a play. DeStazo doing a great job in there in that middle linebacker position. Raiders with good field territory. Coughed it up the last time that they had it. There's Treese Allen down there. Great to have her at the game. Holuska's looking long. He's got a man out there. Little change of direction, but what great defensive play by number 42 for the Rockets, and that was Marshall Poland out there. The ball kind of hung up in the air, Michael, but Poland did a great job of not defending.
Yep, I'm sorry I got excited there. I jumped in for a second, but Poland almost had possession of it there. Could have changed a lot of things right now, but Poland with great coverage on the receiver there. There's a look at it.
You see Holuska back there, and you'll see Poland do a great job. And Pollock is trying to get out there to make the catch, but Poland basically invades his space and makes the play.
Excellent defense. Would have been an easy touchdown for the Raiders.
So it'll set up now a 3rd and 5, ball at the 32. They're probably in 4-down territory. Handoff to Snickenberger. He's got 2 hands wrapped around it, but he'll only get down to the 30-yard line. Miles Walker in there on the play.
We got a little, look at this. We got some physical activity going on here. There's
Greg DeStazo as well. They're just a little chippy down there. I'm sure the Zebras will separate them. Nobody wants an unnecessary penalty there.
You know, that was a little, I don't
know. Number 44 for the Raiders.
Right
number
here.
44 for the Raiders, Brian Nichols in on that. I think there may have been just a little bit of late contact.
Yeah, that right there. You know, that must have been the case, and maybe somebody was mouthing off words that we can't describe here on television, but, you know.
Well, good no call by the referees. They're trying to let him play. It'll set up a 4th and 2. They're probably getting arthritis in their elbows from throwing their laundry so much.
Put some cream in that later.
4th and 2. The Raiders typically like to be able to go to Snickenberg on these kind of plays, or Elfman on the jet sweep around the right side. They give it to Elfman on the jet sweep around the right side. Elfman cuts it back. He gets down to about the 26-yard line. It looks like he may have enough for the first down, and the preliminary signal is that
They're going to measure?
it is a first down. So with 9:56 left to go in the second quarter, you'll see Elfman cut off the right side and then cut it back. Again, great contact by Miles Walker right at the 26-yard line, but Elfman able to pick enough up for the first down.
Walker with a great stop there for the Rockets. Well, they got the first down. And then the Elfman, we've seen a lot of him today. He got a couple first downs in the first quarter. He had that great broke 3 or 4 tackles there, put him deep into Needham territory. And then right after that, the fumble, the Rockets took over. But Wellesley, again, threatening, Chris.
Number 52, David Kamar, comes out. Number 51, John Proctor, is in at one of the guard positions now. The junior getting a chance to play on Thanksgiving Day. We're not sure if Kamara's got an equipment issue or an injury. Handoff goes to Warren. Warren cuts it back. He's got a little bit of room. Warren's outside. He gets down to about the 15-yard line. He's down to the 16-yard line with what appears to be another first down. We'll see what they say.
Warren, yeah, he got the first. Warren and just broke about 2 or 3 tackles there. Got themselves a first down for the Raiders, and Wellesley making a serious threat here.
You'll see Snickenberger with a good lead block on Lockhart, and then Warren gets outside and does pretty much all his own. Miles Walker gets in there on the play, but not in Matt Machunsky, but not until Warren picks up another first down.
Excellent.
First and 10 Raiders at the 11-yard line.
Excellent block by Snickenberger, Chris. Timeout.
Needham.
So the Needham Rockets figured that they want to share some feelings and talk about that. And Dave Duffy, you know, who's done such a great job with this program over the past 8 years or so, and he's got to be very, very proud of this team this year.
Absolutely. You know, you can't really blame them for calling the timeout too, Chris. Stop the momentum on Wellesley. They've had about, 3 or 4 plays, and they've gotten a consecutive first down here and there. 2 consecutive first downs, and now they're threatening to drive in their own on the Needham 15-yard line. But Dave Duffy, as you said, 8th year coaching the Rockets, 60-4 coming into the game. If Needham wins, they'll have a matching record with Wellesley.
Eric Morse has got a few more stat comments for us.
Well, for Wellesley, it looks like Warren seems to be the premier running back so far, not by carries, but by yards picked up. Consistency. He has 16 yards going into the second quarter compared to Stickenberg's 18 and Elfman's 18. But remember, he only did that with 2 carries. Now, as you just saw, with an extra 9-yard pickup on that, he has 10 more yards than the rest of the Wellesley crew.
Well, you guys may have heard about Morris the Cat. Well, we've got Morris the Stat up here. Good job by Eric Morris at keeping the numbers for us and making us look good up here.
Well, you know, I also like to put a plug in for Eric. He's very modest. He writes some great articles for the Needham Times every week. Cover the football season this year. Also does lacrosse and basketball and hockey.
You saw a good look there at quarterback Danny Aleska getting his instructions. He's back in there, 9:14 left to go in the second period. Connor Green in the game is in motion.
We got to, Needham is calling for the flag there and ask and you shall receive.
Looked like Claiborne, number 82, picked up a little bit, so that's a second call against Claiborne.
Seen a lot of penalties there, Chris.
Yeah, they have, and the Raiders have only hurt themselves here with penalties. I believe that's the 7th penalty that's been called in total.
But seriously, straight from that opening drive there, we had about 4 penalties. Now another one here with the illegal motion, 2 illegal procedures, a block in the back on the kickoff. This is unbelievable.
Tequila from the Wellesley High School Band under the direction of Steve Scott doing a great job. The Rockets have got their band here as well. And the band of brothers called the Wellesley Raiders are trying to get this into the end zone. And they give the ball to Warren, and he's got nowhere to go and nowhere to hide. Taylor Kane with another big hit.
Really have seen the juniors step up today, especially Taylor Kane and Harry Freed. Also, Matt Walsh, one of the most underrated players in this Rocket team. He makes just about all the tackles, and he doesn't like the limelight.
Just a great job by Taylor Kane with on the hit there. And you know what? Last year, Bobby Riley at the tight end position had a terrific game, and the Needham quarterback shooter really used him very, very well. We've yet to see the Raiders throw to their tight end. The only pass that they've thrown is they've tried to go deep. They need to be able to throw the ball in the flats if they're going to loosen up this very good Rocket defense.
Absolutely, and Needham also has not made a pass. Except the pitch out.
Halaska rolling out with the play action. He looks across the middle, and he does take a look at his tight end, but he gets a little bit of high. Actually, he was trying to reach Warren. Taylor Kane with the hit helps out Halaska, but it will now set up a long 3rd and 16.
Taylor Kane with some great pass rush there. The play action fake as you just saw. And Taylor Kane with a great pass rush. Ball went nowhere.
So Connor Green comes out of the contest. The clock stops with 8:27 left to go. Raiders trying to throw the ball there, but on second and long, the Needham Rockets were expecting it. They had good pass coverage back there. Miles Walker was back there, along with Machunsky. We'll see what Coach Bill Tracy comes up with here on third and call at 16. Moore in motion, gets it on the jet sweep. He's got no place to go, though. Great job by Machunsky of holding his ground and mowing him down at about the 19-yard line, so they won't pick up much on that at all.
You're looking at 3rd and 14 now, and 4th and 14 rather. So Wellesley, I don't know how their field goal kicker is, Chris, but...
Well, Nick Linkout, who's got a bad leg, is their normal field goal kicker, but under these conditions, you're not going to see Linkout kick it, nor will you see sophomore Tucker Abbott, who's filled in with the kicking responsibilities. It's definitely 4-down territory for the Raiders.
Wellesley took a timeout. Do you think they'll go for it, Chris?
I think they gain nothing by punting here. Head coach Bill Tracy says, you know what, it's too long to kick a field goal. It doesn't make any sense to punt it. If we punt it in the end zone, we're actually going to lose yards on the play.
That's true.
So they're definitely going to go for it. The ball is at about the 15-yard line. 5, 10, 15-yard line. With 8:06 left to go. We're in a scoreless game here on Thanksgiving Day, the 118th meeting between Needham and Wellesley. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We've got a good crowd out here, despite the elements.
Despite the elements, that's right. And, the past couple years, Chris, it's been kind of mild. Last year, game time temperature, you know what it was? 60 degrees, 6-0.
Well, it's always nicer than Needham than it is over here in Wellesley.
Well, 2 years ago it was kind of warm, too. It was about 55 degrees game time temperature.
Although I will say it was nice in Needham last year, but 3 years ago it was
that
horrible.
Snowball, yeah,
it was
that?
The Ice Bowl.
That's right. Yeah,
I brought my skates, okay? I was
Well,
looking
like a hockey
I was looking
rink.
for the Junior Bruins out there, not the Needham Rockets.
It really was like a hockey rink out there at Memorial Field. Rockets, that was their first win in 4 years. They had a losing streak.
So the Raiders do indeed show that they're going to go for it. They send Pollock wide to the top of your screen with Warren in the slot. Snickenberg and Elfman behind Haluska. Haluska with play action. He's got to throw it soon if he wants to. His man out there, and it gets knocked down.
Great pass rush by Bobby Riley there. The middle linebacker came right in Haluska's way. Still got the pass off, though, and more importantly, great secondary coverage there by the Needham defense. I believe we saw Marshall Poland, also Matt Machunsky and Miles Walker out there. But the Rockets, in the meantime, Chris, are going to take over.
They're going to take over, so the Raiders have penetrated deep into Rocket territory twice in this initial stanza, but they are not able to push it in. So it is still a scoreless game. The Rockets will take over 1st and 10. They'll be at their own 20-yard line.
Chris, we were bringing up all week on the Needham channel, the Rockets have not won at Wellesley since 1997. We talked to some of the football players, and they were saying that they don't care about that. They don't care about the record book. Every record book is thrown in on Thanksgiving Day. This is the Super Bowl.
So Reardon calling out the signals. He's got James now behind him. And DeStazo's got the ball. Good stick at the line of scrimmage. And that's Connor Green, number 29, the free safety, the junior. He can definitely put the leather on you. But Connor Green really keying on DeStazo. And DeStazo looked like he had a hole there, Mike.
Connor Green with the last shot out of the Roman candle on Greg DeStazo came out of nowhere. And DeStazo maybe got a couple yards or two, but the hit was more vicious than the carry itself.
Great hit by Connor Green. DeStazo holds on to the pigskin. It'll set up second about 8. He picks up 2 in the play. 7:27 left to go. Reardon calling out the signals. Na is the sole setback. Machunsky wide to the top of the screen. Handoff to Na, slips a little bit, and that costs him a little bit. Diana Ostrowski, number 85, wraps him up for what appears to be no gain on the play. It'll set up a 3rd and 8.
We say it all year long, Chris, and Needham just runs the ball constantly. They don't pass enough. They have the resources out there, the wide receivers and the tight ends, everything like that. They don't pass enough. I hate to rip on them, but you got to play a less conservative offense here. I mean, I understand that you have a new quarterback in there, Billy Reardon, but you got to pass the ball in a situation like that. Now I think you're pretty much forced to pass on 3rd and 7, but knowing them, they'll run it.
3rd and 8. We'll see what they do on this play. Dave Duffy hoping to be able to catch the Raiders off guard here and get the ball out of deep territory. Raiders showing blitz, and they do come, and they show the pass. He hears you. They throw a man deep. It looks like it's going to be incomplete. And again, that time Reardon looking across the middle, and then he faked it. He was looking for Bobby Riley, his favorite target at the tight end position, but it falls incomplete, and it will force the Rockets to punt deep in their own territory. The Raiders should get good field position.
Absolutely. He wanted Riley there in the end, way up in the territory, but it went right over his head, and great coverage there, but also the blitz was really prevented Reardon from getting a good pass off there. He was lucky to get the pass off, Chris. I really thought he was going to be sacked.
Well, I think under these conditions, Mike, I mean, if you're going to pass the ball, it needs to be short passes in the flat to be able to give these quarterbacks some confidence.
Absolutely.
Right now, neither Haleska or Reardon's probably got any confidence in their passing game.
Absolutely.
So Machunsky, who had a terrific punt earlier, will attempt to be able to boom this into Raider territory. He's got Elfman and Warren at the mid-stripe. Another great kick by Machunsky. Elfman driven back to his 35, to his 30, to his 27, to his 25-yard line. And Elfman's got nowhere to go, and he's hog-tied and brought down. So they do not respect Machunsky's leg. Machunsky booms it over their head. That was a D1 kick, and the Raiders lose the field position that they'd hoped to get. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Marshall Poland wrapped up Elfman by the legs. And there it is. There's your return. He fumbled the ball, got it back up. Rockets were hoping for a good deck and maybe have another fumble recovery, but Poland and Lockhart in there in the tackle for Needham, and Wellesley in Needham in their own territory.
So Wellesley will take over at their own 30. That's about a 20, that's a 50-yard exchange on the play.
Great punt.
Haleska calling out the signals, gives the ball up the middle. Snickerberger's got it, working the wheels, and with 6:16 left to go, they'll need to get more yardage on that if they're going to stay to the ground.
You know, that first quarter just flew by compared to the second one. Chris saw a couple more timeouts and more penalties there, but you saw Matt Machunsky coming right in there on the tackle, the whole defensive line, which has been solid all day long so far for Needham. Here you go right here. Snickerberger with the handoff, and he was stopped there by Machunsky. Also, the defensive line just came right to his aid, and the whistle was blown right away.
So it'll set up a 2nd and 8. Give Schneckenberger 2 on the play. John Stewart wide to the top of your screen. Number 26, more in motion, gets it on the jet sweep. Oh, what a great play by number 56, Harry Freed, who's just having a monster game. The blocker expected Darrell Warren to kick it inside. Freed fought off the block and brought Warren down for what appears to be about a 7 or 8 yard loss. Harry Freed is having a monster game.
Harry Freed really is. He also had a monster game last year, made a big stop when it was 3rd and 1. And there you go again, Freed with the big stop there on Warren to give Wellesley a loss of a couple yards.
Yu Chen had done a good job of kicking Freed out, but he expected Warren to cut it back. He cut it out, and it cost him, I'll call it a 4-yard loss, 3rd and 12. 5:02 left to go in the first half. Haleska has got Elfman in motion. Ball at the middle to Snickerberger's got a little bit of room. Mark Snickerberger's turning it. He's over the midfield stripe. And Mark Snickerberger on the fullback blast. Miles Walker helps save the touchdown along with Machunsky, but Mark Snickerberger goes 22 yards up the middle. 1st and 10 Raiders, 4:50 left to go.
Needham's running defense this year, not so good, average, a little bit here and there. More the pass defense, which has been better. And there you go right there. Snickerberger found a lot of room there and gets a big first down for the Raiders.
1st and 10 Raiders at the 47-yard line. Snickerberger's best run of the day. Handoff to Elfman, right side. And the offensive line trying to start to assert itself against a very good Needham defense. And they're running away from Harry Freed right now. Harry Freed man's the right side of that defensive linebacking core, and they're trying to pick on the right side because they're not having any success running against Harry.
And Greg DeStazio came right in there as well for Needham, and big stop, but they got about 4 yards on the play there.
Can you just tell I'm just wild about Harry? I'm just wild about Harry. Great job by Freed. But the Raiders have got a 2nd down and 6. Haleska calling out the signal, sends Pollock to the near side. Elfman in the slot. Hand off to Snickerberger, and again, Snickerberger gets hog-tied down there by number 75 for the
number 75.
Eric Rubin on the bottom, Riley on the top.
Eric Rubin with the tackle, so he will set up a 3rd down and call it 4, I'll call it. It's going to be a short 4.
Chris, I don't know if you heard me before, but I said the Grammy goes to Chris Stevens for that excellent singing performance there about Wild About Harry.
Unfortunately, folks, that probably won't be the last you heard me either. Stewart comes wide to the near side. Elfman in the slot. Snickenberger and Warren behind him. Here comes Warren on the left side, and he cannot run east-west. The ball's on the carpet.
Bubble.
They're saying he was down. That was fortuitous. Miles Walker with a great hit in there. And this is on this offense, you cannot run east-west on this field. You've got to go north-south.
Absolutely, and Lockhart with the stop there at the bottom. Walker took him from the top. Here you go, right here. Warren, the handoff goes to the left, as you said, and Lockhart with the stop. There was a fumble, but the play was already dead.
I guess since Lockhart almost stole that ball, you could call him a Rob Roy, right? So the Raiders do not want to give Needham a lot of territory to deal with. Elfman will attempt to kick it away. J.D. Walker, number 4, is the long snapper. And there will be timeout on the field.
Wellesley.
Coach Bill Tracy takes that timeout. I think that the Raiders were a little confused about what they were going to do. We saw Eichenbaum come to the sideline and get an earful from one of the assistant coaches, so not happy about, I guess, what happened on that last play. Alex Eichenbaum, just such a terrific young man. Man's at center position as well as anybody in the Bay State.
Back deep for Needham, number 36, Miles Walker.
Well, Miles Walker, a pretty good punt returner this year. He's had some problems, though, catching the ball. We saw a fumble a couple times this year, which gave a few turnovers, but if he does fumble it, most of the time he recovers it.
Good snap by Walker. Elfman pops it away. It's a knuckleball. Wakefield looked like he kicked it, but it's going to go down to about the 10-yard line. And Walker rightfully does not try to field it. I don't think that ball spun at all.
No, yeah, don't even go near it. Just take it where the ball falls.
So the Needham Rockets, deep in their own territory with 2:18 left to go, and a full complement of timeouts -1. We'll see whether or not Dave Duffy is happy to go into the locker room with a tie against this Wellesley Raider team away from home, or whether or not he wants to put some points on the board.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're going to see a big drive here. And don't forget, Needham does receive to begin the second half of play. You may play that card.
Billy Reardon calling out the signals, pitches it out to Nah cuts it back. He's got nowhere to go. The Raiders think and run, and they're right.
James with a little juke move.
I'm surprised that the Raiders don't start calling timeouts here, because if they pin them deep in their own territory, they could get terrific field position with a minute to go.
There's your timeout.
There you go.
There you go, right there, yep.
I think Bill Tracy in high school football, I believe you get, 4 timeouts and 2 20s or something ridiculous like that?
31s, yeah. The Rockets here, they got a big opportunity to make a drive. They got to convert to a couple first downs, eat up the clock, and maybe score, so Wellesley does not get the ball back here to end off the first half of play.
So with 2:04 left to go, it is a scoreless game. Wellesley Raiders have been deep into Rocket territory twice and have come up empty-handed.
Here's a stat for you, Chris, from Eric Morris. Needham has not had a first down yet today. They have not had a first down today.
That is a stat.
Yep. 29 plus 10 plays. Wow.
So the Rockets will attempt to get something going here. Raiders showing blitz. They don't want to jump off sides. They've done it before. Walker gets it, trying to get outside. And again, a great lick there by Connor Green, who comes up from his free safety position. And I've got to believe that the Raiders will call timeout again, as it will be 3rd and 6 with 1:57 left to go.
Excellent coaching here by Bill Tracy, again calling the timeout to hold off the clock. And right here, this is clearly the biggest play of the game so far. There's Walker with the carry up to the 25 and stopped there by the defensive lineman. But the Rockets have to really have to get a first down here to, at least eat up the clock and hopefully score to end the first half of play.
Mike Riley, we mentioned that neither one of these teams was going to the playoffs. The Bay State Conference will be represented by Natick from the Hergen Division, the number 4 ranked team in Eastern Massachusetts. Walpole, ranked number 8, will not go to the big dance. But Newton North Tigers, ranked I think 12 or 13, will go for the Cary Division. And it's been a great year for the Bay State Conference. I know that the Wellesley program, the cross-country teams finished 2nd and 4th in Massachusetts. The soccer teams got into the playoffs. I think your field hockey team did well.
Needham field hockey, they lost the second round. Girls soccer, they lost to Whitman-Hanson. Boys soccer lost to BC High. Trying to think what else there. Swimming team, I think they're Bay State champs.
Our golf team, I think, won the Bay State. So all of the athletic programs from both of these schools do very, very well. This one gets the highest profile because it's got such a traditional rivalry. So with 1:57 left to go, we'll see what head coach Dave Duffy's got in store for these Raiders. Good hit again by Connor Green coming up from his free safety position. Dan Murphy is wide to the near side. Machunsky is at the top of the screen. They're looking at a pass formation here. And they look across the middle. They're going to go long. He's got Machunsky out there, and Machunsky's got it. Machunsky's got the first down. Andrew Elfman could not see the ball, so give Reardon credit. You asked for the pass, Mike Riley, and you got it.
Well, you know what? I'm a thankful guy because today is Thanksgiving, so thank you, Billy Reardon, for that. Here you go right here. Take a look at this. You knew it would be a pass on 3rd and 6. Reardon with a good arm and finds Matt Machunsky downfield as he's stopped in the play by Elfman. Rockets still in their own territory, but they are driving.
Good adjustment there by Machunsky for coming back to meet the ball. Billy reared back and threw that one as far as he could on the sideline, and Machunsky hauled it in. Again, look at the pass again. He's got the pitch pass, and again, nowhere to go. James Nah. Bobby Riley with another big hit there in the block, but James Nah can't do anything. This time, I think the Rockets decide that they want to call timeout.
Reardon went to the right side and then finally got the pitch out play there. But I also want to add real quick on that. Machunsky first down there, that reception there, that was Needham's first down of the game. And Nah just got nowhere. Well, about a yard we'll give him on the 45.
So Nah gets hammered after about a half a yard gain. 1:28 left to go in the first half. No score.
You know, Chris, you were talking about the Bay State Conference. Natick number 4 going to the playoffs. Walpole number 8, 1 loss, not going to the playoffs. And Newton North just shows you how competitive the Bay State Conference is, how good it is.
And both of our teams lost all 3 of those guys.
Yep.
Morrissey on the blitz. He's looking deep. Billy Reardon's going to look at the adjustment again. Great coverage by cornerback Danny Haluska. He's not just a quarterback, but a cornerback. Murphy was going to make an adjustment and come back to the ball, but Haluska did what Elfman didn't have a chance to do in the last play. He looked back. He saw the pass was going to be short. He did a nice job of utilizing his body to defend it.
I don't know if you saw Dan Murphy's reaction. We'll probably see it afterwards, but here's Reardon looking for Murphy, and great coverage there by Haluska.
Haluska was a good job in the coverage.
Murphy was frustrated after. I think he was looking for a pass interference call. There was clearly no pass interference.
Murphy's Law would probably say it would be something else, right? Obviously he got interfered with, but good job of coverage by Haluska. His mom, Deborah Haluska, president of the Gridiron Club, doing a great job, as do all the Gridiron volunteers for both schools. Murphy in motion. And they're looking on again at Machunsky. Elfman trying to find him. And this time he's able to break it up. Machunsky looked back for the ball, and this time Elfman was watching his eyes and looked back at just the right time. I thought that was close to pass interference, but obviously Elfman with a good play.
Yeah, Needham coach there, offensive coordinator John Friedis, clearly calling for a pass interference play. They didn't get it though, but excellent defensive coverage by Andy Elfman. And now the Rockets, they gotta punt this away. Wellesley's still gonna have good field position.
I tell you what,
then they'll get the ball.
This is interesting, and with all the time, we still have got 1:17 left to go.
Time.
You could time this quarter with a calendar. I mean, this is taking some time to play here, folks. Darrell Warren and Elfman this time showing Machunsky a lot more respect. They're back inside of their own 20-yard line. Machunsky, who's had 2 great punts, gets another one underway. Elfman will field it at the 25. He's trying to get a little bit of room. Good block there. He's got a little bit of room outside. Andrew Elfman going down the sidelines. Cuts it back. He may have stepped out of bounds, but they're not calling it yet.
He went out of bounds.
And they're saying he's not out of bounds. Andrew Elfman gets down to the 6-yard line. I'm looking for any kind of a spot. We can't see the sideline, but at this point, there's no flags on the field, and the referees are not saying he went out of bounds. Andrew Elfman takes it 72 yards down to the 5-yard line, and with 58 seconds to go, this time the Raiders get a break on their special teams play as opposed to having a mistake.
You know, I hope someone over there in the Needham side has a pair of binoculars to see that one. It looked like he went out of bounds, but the referee's clearly not saying that.
A great individual effort by Elfman, who cut it back across the grain. Haluska gets his instructions, and with 58 seconds to go, a little bit of excitement on this side of the field. So the Needham Rockets want to gather themselves to talk about it. The Raiders have been down in this territory twice thus far in the first half. You see a very tired and fatigued Andrew Elfman there, and rightfully so. He rarely comes out. He's on special teams, offense, defense, just like the stay zone. Some of this guy, Bobby Riley.
Well, Elfman there before broke up the pass to Machunsky, and Needham looked for the pass interference, didn't get it, but great defensive play by Elfman. And now he's got the Jets to give Wellesley a great first down and excellent field position for 1st and goal on the Needham 6-yard line.
So they say that great plays don't make players. Players have to make great plays, and Andrew Elfman with a tremendous individual effort. Now, I believe Coach Tracy burned all but one 20-second timeout, I believe, but I need to look to the official scorekeeper to find out if that's true or not.
Find that out after.
I don't even get a head fake from over there. So, 1st and goal for the Raiders. Haleska gives the ball to Elfman.
Wow.
Elfman does not go anywhere. They need to untangle there quickly. Clock is ticking, 51 seconds.
Freed in there, and Elfman went up to the top.
Second out and goal.
Perhaps Coach Bill Tracy trying to reward Elfman for his efforts, but Harry Freed, again, we talked about what a great half he's having. 37 seconds. The Raiders don't seem to be in a great deal of hurry.
Freed and Walsh here with good stop for the Rockets. Now they're really trying to push the panic button for Needham, Chris.
28 seconds. They give the ball to Elfman again. Elfman, that time, right side.
Bubble!
No, and
Needham
the
gets
Rockets
it.
get it. So Andrew Elfman gets down to the goal line and coughs it up with 22 seconds to go.
You know,
the Rockets they recovered in the end zone, and they will get a touchback. And with 22 seconds left to go, the Raiders are denied once again.
Well, you know, Chris, I mean, I said Needham may have pushed the panic button. Now it may be time for Wellesley to push it, but you know, still plenty of time here to go. Rockets on the goal line. That's what they will take over. Might just run out the clock.
Head coach Bill Tracy feeling that perhaps Elfman had crossed the goal line prior to the fumble, is arguing on the sideline.
I thought he got stopped in the goal line, so I guess he was in the end zone.
Well, the
fumble was in the end zone.
No, he fumbled the ball then went into the end zone, but
right,
he definitely
so now they get it on the 20.
Yeah, so the Rockets have got it at the 20-yard line.
I thought that they were going to have it on the goal line. Okay, all right. I thought he fumbled on the goal line, and then, wow.
Please visit one of the concession stands.
Chris, I'll tell you, this game has been back and forth, left and right. Both teams have had their fair share to score. Make them down to a last-minute touchdown here. They're at the rate this is going right now.
Well, the Needham defense has been on life support down here a couple of times, and they've come up big. They've not given up any yardage to the Raiders when it counts.
Yeah.
Reardon will take a knee. The Raiders, who are out of their complement of timeouts. And Gilbert Placide, unfortunately,
this is just dirty.
A little upset. I don't know what Placide's going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct here if he's not careful. And the Rockets separating both their players. So again, a little bit of emotions running high here. Placide not happy with, I guess, what happened at the half, but that will do it at the half. So the half ends with a bit of controversy. The run by Elfman, he did not break the play, and he fumbles it into the end zone. The Rockets get the touchback, come out to the 20, a little bit of chippiness in the field, but at the end of the first half, we don't have any score, Michael.
Chris, I understand that the emotion of this game here, and it's really riding high. You just saw some dirty reactions from both teams. No need for that. You know, just hold off on it, show your sportsmanship. I understand, like I said, the emotional play of this game here, but you know what? You got to keep your cool because you may come back to bite you in the rear end.
So the Raiders get most of the offensive play during the course of the first half, but they're not able to punch it into the end zone. The Needham Rockets come up big when they need to. It is still 0-0. We are at halftime, and we will be back with second half action in just a minute. We are back from halftime after watching a wonderful performance by the Needham band, the Needham dancing team, and the Wellesley Raider cheerleaders. It's been a hard-fought contest, but at the end of the first half, the score is the Wellesley Raiders 0, the Needham Rockets 0. Mike Riley, that half ended with a lot of emotion and a lot of crazy things happening.
Really was. We saw a lot of dirty play there at the tail end of it. Very surprised about that. You got to be careful with the unsportsmanlike conduct. Couldn't come back to bite you in the rear end. Eric Morris got some first half stats.
Well, fortunately for Needham, this game is played on the field and not by the numbers. Because right now, through the first half, Wellesley leads the yardage battle 105 to 53. Now, Snickenberger alone has 53 yards. So Snickenberger is tied right now with the Needham yards, followed by Elfman with 28, Warren with 26, as opposed to after Mochunski with 35 yards, DeStazo and James Na are tied at 7 yards. So as you can tell, the big
So
yards.
Eric, the stat has got it for you there, and Morris, the stat, I guess I should say. We're almost ready for halftime, and you know this was one of those kind of halves, Mike Riley, where the Raiders drove into Rocket territory 3 different times, and they just came up empty-handed every single time. You have to give the Rocket defense credit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, even right there in the last play there that gave Needham the knee to end the half. Sorry, I'm fixing my headset. The fumble there in the end zone gave Needham the ball, but you're right. The defense, which you said at one point, Chris, it looked like it was almost on life support. They've been out there most of the game. They were really tired, but they come through in the clutch in the tail end of it to end off the first half of play.
Well, the Needham Rockets on defense kept the Wellesley Raiders waiting outside of the end zone the entire first half. Now they're keeping them waiting on the sideline as the Rockets have yet to make an appearance here. Dave Duffy, I guess, giving his team further instructions about how he wants his second half to go. The field is starting to dry up just a tad, or at least the snow is evaporating. So perhaps the field conditions will be a little bit better. A lot of highlights in that first half. Machunsky with some terrific punting, had 3 great punts. Andrew Elpin with a 72-yard punt return, but he could not get into the end zone. A lot of great hitting on both sides of the ball. Harry Freed having a monster game on defense for the Needham Rockets, and the middle linebacking core of Snickenberger and Darrell Warren also playing very, very well.
Well, as you said there, Machunsky with his punts, the first one, you know, actually I think it was the second or third one, it was like a sky ball one and just got nowhere. But he's done fairly well though in the punts and the punt return as well for Wellesley. Not that bad, but I also heard a rumor, Chris, that Needham may be coming out to new jerseys just as Wellesley did, but I don't think that's the case. As we see it right now, they're coming out with the white ones.
Well, some of the jerseys I see are kind of muddy, so if they did, they've been recycled
That's
before.
right, yeah, exactly.
But the Wellesley Raiders trying to get any kind of an emotional edge that they can in this game. For both teams, this is their Super Bowl, and they will not be going to the playoffs. But again, I just want to pay tribute to everybody here at the Wellesley channel and the Needham channels who are bringing to this action. We actually saw some of the other guys who helped us out over the years come up to the booth and say hi. But
Ben Mark,
for Eric Duddy and Paul Duddy and Frank Walls and Steve Gustin and Scott Patat, Adam Spencer, George Gannon, Jose Lapointe, Eric Morris, Natalie Danglade, and our director down there in the truck getting it all done, Mark Mandel. So great job, gang. We really appreciate you doing all the stuff behind the scenes. We're the guys with the microphones, but you're the ones who make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I think we should really emphasize the fact that, you know, Needham Channel, Wellesley Channel, they got a few paid employees there. Everybody else, all volunteer work. All volunteer work. Can't really emphasize that. They do a heck of a job taking up time in their own Thanksgiving Day. They could be traveling, doing something with family. They're here with us this morning in these cold conditions, and they are the troops here this afternoon.
So you're watching the co-captains go out to shake hands for a final time. They're all seniors. Andrew Elpin, number 41. 42 is James Bagay. Number 19, Darrell Warren. And number 28, Jack Morrissey. And then for the Needham Rockets,
number 54, Tony DeChico, number 12, Roy Lockhart, and number 86, Bobby Ryan. That's it left to right there across your television screen. Needham will receive to begin the second half of play. No score here in the third quarter.
So we had a scoreless first half, and we'll see whether or not sometimes the tides can turn at halftime. Sometimes the fireworks explode after a scoreless half. It's kind of the calm before the storm. We had a stormy morning. It's actually calm now. It's cold out here, but the conditions much more favorable to football than they were when we started the contest.
I think the temperature may have gone up a little bit too, Chris. I mean, you can see the muddy conditions now on the sideline. You may even see it eventually on the field level play as well. But this is what it's all about. This is for all the marbles. We know that both teams will not be going to the playoffs, and Coach Dave Duffy for Needham with his youngest kid over there as well. Jack Duffy also plays Walpole youth football, and he's over there as well helping out Coach Duffy on the sideline. I know that's a huge honor for him.
So we are almost ready for second half action. The Raiders will kicking off. They will be going from right to left on your screen to the Rockets. Number 44, Tucker Abbott, will most probably be doing the kicking as Nick Linkow was injured. And here to bring you the second half call for the play-by-play, the voice of the Needham Rockets, Mike Riley.
Well, thank you. Voice of the Wellesley Raiders, Mr. Chris Stevens. The Rockets and the Raiders here, 118th meeting from Wellesley's Hunnewell Field. No score here in the third quarter. As we said, Tucker Abbott will kick off for the Raiders. And back to receive 36 Miles Walker, 42 Marshall Poland. Oh, no. Linkow, Nick Linkow.
So Linkow is out there.
Linkow will be kicking for the Raiders.
Well, Tucker Abbott is on the kickoff team as well, and it's, some of these kids that get it on the kickoff team don't get a chance to see as much action. Number 34 for the Raiders is out there.
One of the most exciting first halves of football so far. We saw it back and forth, and we're ready to get things started. It's a brand new ball game. Here's where it all counts in the second half. As we begin the third quarter of play, no score here between the Rockets and the Raiders to kick off, and we are underway to begin the third quarter of play. Walker receives it, bounces it right up to him at the 20-yard line, now to the 25. Walker still going. There's a flag on the play, the 35-40, going to the 45. Pass midfield. Wellesley's 45-40. There's a flag back in the field, though, and Wellesley's saying it's on Needham, and I think they're right. Block in the back called against the Rockets, and it's coming all the way back.
Miles Walker, the junior, with a terrific run, found the seam and found his way down the sidelines. Again, did a great job of avoiding two different tacklers.
Yeah, you can't see the block.
And a terrific job by Connor Green of saving what would have been a touchdown, but it is called back. It's just like it was the opening kickoff of the game, except the tides have turned. It was the Raiders that made a mistake in the opening kickoff. This time, it's the Rockets.
And it comes back to haunt the Rockets back on their own 10-yard line. So Needham would have had excellent, well, maybe even further back.
Well, this was almost like, literally, almost like a carbon copy. The Raiders had a decent run in the first half, but they got it called back. Nick Linkow showed that he's the kicker. He tried to make the play there, but Miles Walker looked like a matador as he waved him by and continued down the sidelines.
First and 10 for the Rockets at their own 9-yard line here in the third quarter. No score between the Rockets and the white jerseys. Wellesley in their new red uniforms just for today. Apparently it goes to DeStazo and got nowhere.
DeStazo pulled down by Mark Snickenberger before he got to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to lose one or two on the play. And again, the Raiders want to try to keep the Rockets pinned down here. We'll see whether or not the Rockets can open up the offense a little bit.
1 or 2, you might want to multiply that by 2. A loss of 4 yards as DeStazo's pushed all the way back. Second and 14 for the Rockets at their own 6-yard line. And Needham in trouble in their own territory. Billy Reardon, the senior quarterback, as we know, done a fair job today so far. Had a complete pass. It's been mostly the running game that's controlled this one. And don't be surprised to see it again. Wellesley going for almost a blitz. Now goes to nod to the right side at the hash mark, and now down to the just about the 10-yard line, maybe 2 yards or 3. So we're looking at 3rd and 8 for the Rockets,
good
right about the 10-yard line.
Sorry, good pursuit there by Jack Morrissey, but James Nah showing some exceptional traction over there. Made the cut and was able to pick up a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Nice tackle by
Andrew Elfman in on the play. Scott Grillo over there, number 31, Elfman, number 41.
Couldn't have said it better. 10:33 to play. No score here. Packed house on the Wellesley sideline. That's where we are, and across the way in Needham, their sideline as well. The whole field is crowded. 3rd and 8 from the 11-yard line for the Rockets. Motion from Dan Murphy. And a pitch out to... Oh, it's going to be a reverse. Miles Walker looking for Murphy and intercepted by Danny Haluska. Goes to the 10, the 5, goal line. Touchdown, Wellesley Raiders. Danny Haluska.
Well, we mentioned that we would see whether or not Needham would open up the playbook. And again, they did. They tried that, basically, which is a halfback option play. They had Murphy in motion, but it came up short. And Danny Haluska, who's had difficulty throwing the ball, had no difficulty catching that floater and was able to go down the sideline 28 yards for the score.
Well, the Raiders draw first blood here in the third quarter. This is a brand new ball game with 10 minutes to play. It was a brand new ball game. Now the Raiders hoping to tag on one more with the extra point from Nick Linkow, who will attempt the extra point for Wellesley. And Walker looked for Murphy there on the reverse.
J.D. Walker with a snap.
The kick is up, and it is good.
With the hole.
The Raiders with 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Wellesley 7, Needham 0. The Raiders, as we said, they've drawn first blood, Chris.
Well, it's been a difficult time for the Raiders to get into the end zone on their offense, so their defense decided to make it happen.
There's the play up.
You see Miles Walker going back. He gets hit just as they releases it, which took some of the momentum off the ball. Haluska's got it. He avoided one man and got down the sideline and stretched out and just got it past the pylon. Bobby Riley says no. The Zebras say yes. 7-0 Raiders.
Well, that pass by Walker just, I don't know.
He just got nailed.
It's not that good of a pass, but
a risky play deep in your own territory. You know, sometimes those things pay off and sometimes they don't.
And Wellesley also had a big blitz there too, prevented a good pass by Walker to Murphy. And unfortunately for the Rockets, the Raiders take advantage of it, get the interception and the touchdown. There it is again, Walker's pass. Look at that, that just...
I can't see who hit Miles Walker there. I believe it was Snickenberger on the blitz.
So Wellesley 7, Needham 0 here in the third quarter. And the Rockets again see themselves receiving the ball as they just did about 2 minutes to go.
If you're watching this game and didn't have a chance to TiVo it on Thanksgiving Day, if you watch this first broadcast, we're on at 5 o'clock, and then I think on again at 7:30. Obviously a very disappointed Miles Walker back there, but you know, that's, what are you going to do? He got hit, and Aleska made a good play.
Needham will also have it at 2 o'clock, and tonight as well at 7:30. Also all weekend long on the Needham channel. Highlights, Thursday night Needham channel news, 7:30. Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, the Real Sports Report. 7-0 Wellesley, 10 minutes to play in the third. Rockets to receive, Miles Walker and Marshall Poland. Walker with a great return to begin it, but the penalty drew them back. And now it looks like it'll go to Walker again. Scoops it up at the 10, down to the 15, down to the 20, and the 25 rather.
I see Jamie Walker, Miles' dad, over there recording the game. He's right next to us, and the kid, Miles Walker, he had nowhere to go there. But you know, a lot of times when kids have something, a mistake that's made, it always seems to be that kid who steps up later in the game and makes a big play. We'll say whether or not Walker can do it.
Absolutely, and Miles' father, Jamie Walker, does the video game highlights for the football team. Also puts together a great highlight tape every year for the Rockets. 1st and 10 for Needham at their own 24. Hoping to do something here in the third quarter, under 10 minutes. Billy Reardon in the offense. As we said, Reardon, the starting quarterback this afternoon. A handoff goes to James now up the middle. Now to the 30. Oh, he tripped up in the plane. I think the weather conditions may have had something to do with that, but I believe Connor Green had the lower part of the leg on James now there to prevent the first.
The Raiders, when they sense that a team is going to run, a lot of times take a lot of risks, and they're blitzing Connor Green a lot. You'll see the handoff from Reardon to Na, and Na's off to the races, except Green gets him by the shoestrings, so...
Just got him at the tail end. 2nd and 3 for the Rockets at their own 31-yard line. Another back in the field. It's Greg DeStazo and James Na to the left side. On the television screen to your right. Na with motion. Done that a lot today as DeStazo brings it up and breaks the tackle, goes to the 45, and he stopped at the 45-yard line, past the 40. Greg DeStazo for Needham's first down here in the third quarter, and the Rockets will drive it up again.
Well, Scott Grillo with the play, but that's a classic case of looked like both Darrell Warren and Mark Snickenberger looked like they had a beat on DeStazo, and this is one where one guy knocks the other guy off the ball. And DeStazo, give him credit, keeps working his wheels and gets it up to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 Rockets.
Scott Grillo took down Greg DeStazo there, as you said. 1st and 10 for the Rockets at their own 46-yard line. I formation, Brian Nichols and James Na in the backfield. Connor Sullivan, who was also in there, first game back since the second game of the year after he broke his ankle. And it goes to Na up the middle. May get a yard or two at the 45, midfield rather.
Well, he turns it into 4 yards. He had Jack Morrissey on his back, but Na looks like he's come out with a purpose here.
Looked like it was going to be 2 yards, Chris. Like you said, he got about 5 there. 2nd and 5 for the Rockets at midfield.
So Morrissey with the tackle, but give Na actually 5 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 5.
Another I formation. Brian Nichols and James Na to Na it goes. Breaks the tackle and gets through at the 48-yard line of Wellesley. We're looking at 3rd and 3 now for the Rockets.
Another big hit by number 29 junior Connor Green, who comes up in his free safety position. And right now the Wellesley Raider defense is so keen on the run that Green is taken off on almost everything. Boom, another hit by Connor Green. You see that on the replay. He's really key in the run on every single play.
3rd and 3 for the Rockets at the Wellesley 47-yard line. Another I formation again. And the biggest play of the game here so far coming for Needham on 3rd and 3. Big chance to convert to a first down. As motion from DeStazo. And Reardon back to pass. Better get it off quick. And Reardon, he got sacked.
So they show blitz there, and Scott Grillo comes in from his outside linebacker position. that freed up Yu Chen to be able to come in. It was basically a jailbreak with Darrell Warren and Stickenberger coming as well. And on a deep pass, they just happened to guess right on that.
Bill Reardon experiencing his first sack of the game so far today. Hopefully that's the last one for him. And he walks off the field as the Rockets will have to punt this one away again. Matt Machensky, he's getting his money's worth here today.
Well, the wind has not bothered Machensky thus far, but it looks like it's picking up just a tad here.
Not that much.
Machensky will be punting into the wind, and Warren and Elfman are deep at about their own 10 or 12 yard line.
But a very sloppy game today as Machensky kicks that one away and a very nice punt. Look at that go! A rocket to Elfman at the 20 and finally taken down at the 20-yard line.
I tell you, Machensky ought to be kicking for somebody D1 next year. You don't see punters like that in high school. A 48-yard kick by Machensky into the wind, and Elfman does the smart thing, which is just to field it, get as much as he can. Raiders get it back to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 6:21 left to go, leading the Rockets 7-zip.
Matt Machensky, he's took over the role of the punter after Chris Pavaciris graduated in 2003. Chris Pavaciris now punting for the University of Connecticut. 1st and 10 for the Wellesley Raiders at their own 20-yard line. And 2 backs in the field there for the Raiders, Stickenberger and Elfman.
Looks like Jack Morrissey's got it. 28. 29, Connor Green getting the play.
Okay. Thought it was Morrissey. They got a lot of running backs in there for Wellesley. 2nd and 8 at their own 23-yard line.
2nd down and 7.
Actually, 22 will make it. Make more sense. Less than 6 minutes to play. Wellesley in the red on top 7. Needham in the white with 0.
Darrell Warren came out of the contest. Connor Green getting a chance to be able to play on the offensive side of the ball. Now Morrissey in the contest.
And Needham defense scrambling to the left, and great opening there for Morrissey. Gets through, and
Machensky coming in from his quarterback position makes a hit on Morrissey. Morrissey did the nice pirouette move. It gained him another couple of yards, but it'll still set up a 3rd and call at 3.
3rd and a very long 3, if you want to say that. It may even go to the extent of 4.
Your call, Mikey.
I'll say on the 27-yard line for the Raiders.
You haven't been wrong yet. I'm going to say 34 as well.
Looks like it. And the defense trying to get on the case. There's a blitz as Darrell Warren had that one and stopped there by Riley and Rubin.
Great 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd effort by Warren.
They got the first.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was a quick decision. I thought on the spot, I didn't think he got it, but they are saying he did. And that was all Darrell Warren because the blitz was on, the Rockets were in the backfield, and you see that Warren made the spin move, and that got him what he needed.
1st and 10 for the Rockets at the Raiders on their own 30-yard line, rather. And 4:30 to play here. Wellesley 7, Needham 0. Rocket defense, they've been out there for most of the game as Elfman breaks the tackle, now another, and gets stopped in the play there by Greg DeStazo and also Marshall Poland.
Number 39 is in the contest
Brian
for the
Hopkins.
Rockets. That's Brian Hopkins. Is he any relation to Andrew Hopkins?
That's his younger brother. That's
well,
older
I
brother.
tell you, I'll never forget that game here when Needham came in here. I want to say it was 97.
Yep.
And Andrew Hopkins put on a show. His younger brother looks like he could be just as good.
Pat Rose was a quarterback there, made the pitch out to Hopkins. Cover that by your chance. Love zone ball. Here's a handoff up the middle, and the Raiders, that was Stickenberger. Yep.
Well, you know,
Miles Walker with a stop.
The Raiders are basically just running the ball here with the lead at 7-0. They got a defensive touchdown, but from the offensive side, all they want to do is try to be able to grind it out, get it out of their territory. The drive started at the 20. It's now at the 41. There's now only 3:35 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
A very frustrating game for Needham right now. They're down 7, down by a touchdown. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at their own 41-yard line. And it goes to Darrell Warren, and Machensky takes him up by the legs there. Also, at the tail end of it, Taylor Kane came right on his case, but the Raiders, again, moving the ball very well here in the third quarter. Second and 5 for Wellesley at their own 46-yard line. Needham defense been out there for the majority of this one.
So call it second and about
5, yeah.
I say 5.
Yeah, 46-yard line. Wellesley, again, as we just said, they are driving here, Chris, and they've taken great control of this one.
Well, they got two opponents right now, the Clock and the Rockets. Or sorry, the Raiders. The Rockets have two opponents.
Right, exactly.
I'll get it right.
That's all right. Elfman again brings it up, and good for another Raider first down. Andy Elfman, oh, somebody's hurt for Wellesley.
Yu Chen down on the field there, getting up a little gingerly, but what a terrific run by number 41, co-captain Andrew Elfman, who it just absolutely continues to work his legs. He keeps scratching and clawing for every single yard. The Rockets hold on there for the tackle. Yu Chen comes out, and Proctor will come in, and with 2:23 left to go, the clock stopped just briefly to move the chains, and it just started again.
First and 10 for the Rockets, the Raiders at the Rocket 47-yard line. And as you said, just over 2 minutes to play, and Wellesley with the 7-0 lead. The rain is starting to come down again here. It was snowing earlier. Now it's more of a little mix of rain and a tad of snow from Hunnewell Field, the 118th meeting between the two teams. It goes to Warren at the 43-yard line. Snickenberger, rather, excuse me.
Snickenberger gets a call, and he gets it down inside of the 45-yard line. He'll pick up 3 on the play. Good blocking again by the left side of that line. Gilbert Placide, number 73, who's calmed down a little bit from the end of the first half with a good block there to help spring Snickenberger for a couple of yards.
Needham with so much hope going into this half, and the clock is just eating away. And
I know Eric Morse will have the stats at the end of the third period, but again, it looks as though the Raiders continue to dominate the time of possession here. Flag on the play. I think it's going to be illegal. Yep. They're going to wave it off.
Oh, they're going to call it off.
Well, unlike my kids, these guys pick up their own laundry. I love that.
Do you do it, or
it's ridiculous. You know, you got 4 sons. You'd think that one of them would pick up after themselves. But moms know that's not the case.
Yep. Second and 7 for the Raiders at the Needham 44-yard line. The penalty was called off. Needham defense been out there pretty much the whole quarter. And there's a fumble on the play! Fumble on the play. Needham is saying that they recovered, but Wellesley, I believe, hasn't. Yeah, the Raiders got it.
Well, they're very lucky that time. Dan Haluska pulled away from the center. There must have been some miscommunication between him and Eichenbaum. Haluska comes up not 100%. He definitely felt something there, but he was able to get it back, but it's going to be a loss of 3 yards. Call it 3rd and 10. This is a big play for the Rocket defense.
Right back to square one for the Raiders. 3rd and 10 from the Needham 44-yard line. No, 46-yard line. Absolutely right. Needham defense better be on their A game here, because you're probably looking at a pass. If you don't convert, you're going to see a punt. And it's a run. Snickenberger. And stopped there by Taylor Kane, Matt Walsh, and Harry Freed.
Well, I think the chess game continues. Rook to Bishop's 3, because Coach Bill Tracy not wanting to do anything that's going to jeopardize turnover with a very conservative call. Hey, we'll punt it away, hopefully pin you down. The Rocket offense has had a difficult time getting going today. Coach Tracy hoping that his defense can do it for one more quarter as the quarter winds down.
Well, Chris, you got the second and fourth quarters. I think I'm getting the short end of the stick here. The first and third are just been really short, and that's the end of the third quarter of play after 3 full quarters. Wellesley 7, Needham 0, and Chris, the Rockets here find themselves in a bind, but they will receive. Wellesley's going to do they've controlled that clock down in the third quarter. Let's go to Eric Morris now for some stats of the third quarter when you have it.
The third quarter, it was 28 yards by the Wellesley, as opposed to 31 yards by the Needham Rockets. But Wellesley still controlled the time of possession, as you mentioned. Even though they ran the same amount of plays, the time of possession was still twice as long as Needham. It was that 70-yard return by Haluska, was it? By Haluska, that gave him the touchdown, gives him the edge right now.
Yeah, you can work all the statistics that you want to on that, but in this situation, the one statistic that was really key was the turnover, because it actually ended up being the score and the only score of the contest. Dave, if you were doing the Vegas over and under on this, I hope you took the under.
Absolutely. What was the line coming in?
I don't think there was one.
As we know, this is the final game for both seniors. This will be their last quarter of regulation in high school football. And for the fourth quarter of play, Chris Stevens.
Well, I'm surprised that maybe the Raiders didn't even take a timeout so they would not be punting into the wind. This breeze is very stiff. Elfman's got the snap from J.D. Walker. He goes an end over end. It's going to come down, and it's going to bounce down inside of the 20 to about the 17-yard line. So Elfman does what he wants to do. He punts it away from Miles Walker. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the result was what they wanted.
Yeah, it was a Wellesley bounce in their favor, and the Rockets once again find themselves deep in their territory at about the 14-yard line.
Mike Riley with another great call there in the third quarter. We've got 1 quarter to go. The turkeys are in the oven in some homes, and they're going to have to go into the oven pretty soon in some others. But again, the turkey should taste good for all these kids today because they're all putting forth their best effort.
And as we know, last quarter of play for all the seniors.
Reardon calling out the signals. Has got a power I formation with Na behind him and DeStazo. Reardon looking to pass. He's looking long. He's out in the flat. James Na almost hauls it in. They showed the misdirection. I love the play call. He looked one way and then looked back across the green to James Na. Darrell Warren, 19, was in the way. They just weren't quite able to make the completion, but I love the call.
James had it in his right hand, then to his left. Couldn't decide which one. Here we go, right here.
You see Reardon look one way and then throw back across his body. Na with almost a spectacular play. Couldn't quite grab the handle. 2nd and 10.
I don't really blame James Na for that, though. He didn't really have the best of an angle to get that one off.
Ball's at the 13-yard line. Number 21, Brian Kelleher, comes wide to the near side. Murphy's wide at the top of the screen. Thomas Claiborne has got a hold of Na. He brings him down after about a 2-yard gain. The ball gets up to about the 15-yard line. It'll be now 3rd and 8.
Well, Needham, again, they have a lot of frustrating action here right now in the third quarter. Wellesley with the edge, and they're still deep in their own territory, can't get nothing out of it.
Claiborne comes out. Alex Eichenbaum, 54, gets a rare guest appearance at the defensive tackle position.
They better pass, Chris, they better pass.
Well, the Raiders probably will be looking for it. We'll see if they do a little misdirection again. He's got Kelleher in the slot, Murphy outside of him, one setback. The pitch out goes to Na. Na tries to go, and he's got nowhere to go deep in their own territory. Coach Dave Duffy hopes that his defense can force a turnover because the Rockets appear that they will have to punt it away with 10:51 left to go in this contest, trading the Raiders 7-0.
I think you're depending too much on the running game there, and they should have made a pass off to somebody there, Chris. It would have been a better chance for first down, and it's ridiculous. Now you have to punt away on 4th and 6. Wellesley's going to take good possession here. And now you got to put your whole sacrifice on the defense. It's been out there the whole game.
Machunsky this time will have the wind at his back, and the Raiders are not back far enough. They see this guy
almost blocked.
Kick, and Elfman has to backpedal, which is not what you want to do. And he can't find the handle. He finally picks it up, but the Raiders are not going to get good field position. Having watched this kid punt, I cannot believe that they were not back a lot further. Matt Machunsky just doing a terrific job, bails out the Rockets, and the Raiders are driven all the way back to their 37-yard line. Well, they'll take over 1st and 10 with 10:10 to go.
You know, another thing too, Chris, I mean, I've noticed that on special teams today, for the receivers especially, when they get the ball, it's usually a fumble, and they recover their own fumble there. The ball is so slippery in the field conditions, that's playing a major factor here this afternoon. And as a result, with the fumble there with Elfman, Needham, the special teams are hoping to deck him and get a fumble there. Couldn't get it, but now the Raiders take over.
Ball actually at the 33-yard line. Hard to see the markers. Pollock wide to the near side. Elfman in the slot. Warren and Snickenberger behind Haluska. Gently in motion is Andrew Elfman. Handoff goes to Snickenberger up the middle. He's working the wheels hard. He's got 2 hands around the ball. He gets up to the 38-yard line. Give him 5 on the play. Bobby Riley in on the play, and also Harry Freed on the play, and number 50.
55, Matt
Taylor
Walsh.
Kane. Taylor Kane, number 50, also on the play.
Walsh in there too.
Ball on the 38-yard line.
George DeStazo has gone all the way at that middle linebacker position with Bobby Riley. Played in their last game. Sorry. Greg DeStazo, sorry.
That's all right.
By George, it's Greg DeStazo. Handoff, nothing much happening there. Hard to get the footing. Snickenberger maybe gets a yard.
Bobby Riley.
The ball's at about the 40-yard line. It will set up a 3rd and 3. Clock continuing to move, 9:18 left to go.
Wellesley controlled that third quarter so well. It ate up the clock so much, and Needham just had no chance left over in the third, and they're on pace to do it again here in the fourth if they get another first down.
Somebody just turned the lights on here at Hunnewell Field.
Yeah, the sun is
oh,
up.
no, that's the sun.
Let's play the song by the Beatles.
You want to talk about a cameo appearance.
Yeah.
So, big 3rd down for the Raider offense. Holuska calling out the signals, gives it to Warren. Warren tries to cut and goes nowhere. And guess who's there? Harry Freed.
Wow. Harry Freed been all over this game, left and right. You want him on the defense, you got him. He's going to be a superstar next year as a senior. Here you go, right here. Warren with the ball, and Freed just gang tackled him right for the bottom.
6.
He stuffed him like a Thanksgiving turkey.
So a little Freed pass there.
37-yard line.
They don't think Elephant's got a very good foot because they're only back about 25 yards. Good snap by Walker. Elephant end over end. It's going to be picked up there by Walker, and Walker's going to get buried at about the 37-yard line. So we change of possessions with 8:14 left to go. If the Needham offense is going to get going, it has to happen on this drive.
You can't waste any more time. You're absolutely right. As we said, Wellesley has been all over. They've been controlling the clock from the third quarter into the first quarter as well. Now, they were on pace to do it again here in the fourth, but Needham, as you say, they do have to score here. They got to do something.
Ball on the 37-yard line.
So now or never.
1st and 10 for the Rockets. 8:14 left to go. Raider defense having a difficult time getting set there. Rockets have got him all bunched in. They've got triplets to the right side, tight. Here comes the end around. Trying to get outside. Good block in there, but good pursuit by the Raiders. And again, that play just took a little bit too long. Marshall Poland took the end around and was hammered down by Will Cooper, 66. It'll be a loss in the play of about 5 yards. Call it 2nd and 15.
I think the field conditions are starting to come into play right now. We did see there with the kickoff, with the punt return there from Miles Walker, had a little slip and slide, and now with Marshall Poland, he slipped up in the play, and that just caused Needham about 5-yard loss.
So with only 3 first downs in the contest so far, the Needham Rockets have really got to muster some offense. And again, I don't know how many big plays that they've got in their book, but now it's time to be able to bring one out. 7:32 left to go in the game. Raiders
Look
lead
at that.
7-0.
Saw a shot in the mud.
Murphy in motion to pitch out. Nah, trying to get outside. He's got a little bit of room. Being chased by Connor Green and hauled down there at about the 32-yard line. It looks like it could be another loss on the play, maybe of a yard. Nah, looked like he had a little bit of room, but Snickerberger closed fast. Got time, get a Snickenberger. The pitch out goes to Nam. No, it goes to the wide side. He avoids one tackler, but again, Snickenberger and Connor Green again. Green having the same kind of game on defense as Harry Freed is on defense for the Rockets.
James went right there to the field marker. No gain. Well, actually, a loss of 1. Here's your biggest play of the game, Chris, as far as I'm concerned. I've said it all game long, but this is it so far. This has got to be a pass.
3rd and 16. Reardon calling out the signals. Murphy wide to the far side. He's being chased already.
Oh, boy.
Being flushed out of the pocket. He's looking down the field. He's got Machunsky. Machunsky looking. Oh, what a catch by Machunsky. What a catch by Machunsky. Matt Machunsky fends off the defender and hauls in a great pass from Reardon at the 42-yard line. A huge first down for the Needham Rockets. 6:32 left to go. They get the first down that they need.
Here you go right there. Reardon scrambles to the right. Just gets it off in the nick of time, and look at this, Matt Machunsky's height coming into place, and he makes a great catch to give Needham a huge first down.
Big play by Machunsky there, great pass to Reardon. Give Reardon credit for making the play, give Machunsky credit for making the catch. 4th first down of the game for the Rockets. They're on a roll here. Handoff goes to Nah. Nah trying to get outside, nothing doing. Darrell Warren's got him, as does Connor Green. Hit at the line of scrimmage. There'll be no gain. Clock continues to run. 6 minutes to go.
Second. No gain there for James Nah. Darrell Warren there. Darrell Warren. And a big stop there for Darrell Warren as Nah got nowhere.
I keep waiting for Connor Sullivan to get the ball and get tackled by Gilbert Placide so we could have a Gilbert and Sullivan play.
How ironic.
Murphy wide to the far side. Machunsky with a huge catch, closest to you on the camera. Reardon calling out the signals. Peter Gunn going on in the background.
Blues Brothers.
Reardon looks, he's looking deep. He throws a pass to Bobby Riley. Riley's got it. Riley still working down, gets down to the 31-yard line. They finally look to rally, and he doesn't disappoint them.
Billy Reardon found his blues brother. He found Bobby Riley as the band was playing that in the background. Here you go. He broke a tackle and then found Riley there, and now the officials will most likely measure this one here.
So, what a great play by Riley.
I got the first, I think. They're going to measure.
84 yards passing for Reardon. They're going to take timeout, which is a free timeout for the team to be able to gather themselves. Coach Duffy talking to Reardon on the sideline. He'll have the play already called because as soon as they decide if this is a first down or not and mark the ball, the clock will start.
It's first.
It is. So they get a new set of downs here. Bobby Riley, the tight end, coming off of a great game last year on Thanksgiving Day, comes up big here.
That's Needham's 5th first down of the afternoon here. Only 5 first down conversions in the 4th.
2 on this drive, though. Murphy heading over towards the sideline. Will go to the top of your camera. Machunsky down low here. Reardon with his jersey a little bit dirtier now, but he's making the plays. The Raiders have got their defense jammed in there. Reardon looking across. He's going deep to Machunsky. He's got him out there. Machunsky's got it, and he's out of bounds. Machunsky's got it at the 6-yard line. A great pass by Reardon, lofted Machunsky. Andrew Elfman lost his footing, and the Rockets have got first down at the 6-yard line with 4:56 left to go.
You see what happens when you make the passing plays? Everything produces well. There's no running in this game, no need to do too much of it all game long. Machunsky with a great catch and stopped on the 6-yard line. Excellent field position for Needham.
So 1st and goal for the Rockets. They have the ball. The ball went out of bounds, so the clock will not start until the play the ball is snapped. A lot of dirty jerseys out there.
Oh, yeah.
No quit in this Rocket team.
You know, you got to hand it to Billy Reardon today, coming in there, first game as a starter, a senior. He's done a very good job. There were a lot of doubts about him, but he's done a fairly good job.
Well, no doubt about it, he's having a great game today. Reardon calling out the signals. Hands off, up the middle. It's DeStazo. He's got nowhere to go.
James Nah.
Check that. Nah at about the 5-yard line. So 4:45. There's plenty of time. And if it's anything like we saw at the end of the second quarter, there's all kinds of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I believe both teams have their full complement of timeouts remaining. 4:28 left to go. Reardon has got a 2nd and goal from the 5. Full house backfield behind him. Reardon, pitch out to Nah. Nah trying to get outside, cuts it back. James Nah gets down to about the 2-yard line. He's not in the end zone, but he's close.
Very close, very close. Great blocking by the offensive line there for Needham. I'd like to get the numbers there when we get the replay up, but here we go right here. A great pitch out to Nah. Excellent blocking there by Needham. I believe that was Friedenberg. Also, I'm going to give it to Mike Jakes as well, or Brian Jakes, one of the two.
Ball's at the 2-yard line, 3:51 left to go.
Excellent blocking.
And I would not be surprised. I know that they've got a good kicker in Machunsky, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dave Duffy, they scored a touchdown, goes for 2 in the win right here.
I don't know. Play it safe.
So, Reardon, the offense has come alive, and Coach Duffy wants to talk about it. So the suspense is building here at Hunnewell Field on Thanksgiving Day. Let's set the stage for you. There's 3:31 left to go. The Raiders scored their only touchdown of the game on a defensive play. The Rockets took over this ball on about their own 37-yard line and have driven down the field on the strength of 2 great passes to Machunsky and 1 to senior Bobby Riley, and they are looking at now a 3rd and goal from the 2.
You know, if there ever a time to have a flair for the dramatic, it might be right about now, Chris, because Wellesley really controlled the football very well in that 3rd quarter, and the 4th quarter, Needham making a great statement here and a big chance to score in the Wellesley 2.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Reardon calling out the signals. Handoff goes to Nah up the middle. James Nah. Touchdown Rockets. So James Nah brings the other side of the field alive, and the Needham Rockets are right back in this contest.
Chris, do you go for 1 or do you go for 2? Needham is known to pull some tricks like this. Now, I hate to put this under here. I hate to say this again, but on the Newton North game, Rockets were down 15-14. They scored with the touchdown. They made it 15-14, had a chance to tie it up. Oh, they're going to go for the extra point.
So,
Machunsky missed it, but there's...
Machunsky, number 9, is going to be your kicker here.
Hope he gets it.
Lockhart is going to be your holder.
He's got a lot of pressure on him.
Machunsky does it. Great kick by Machunsky.
And that just boosted his confidence so much.
With 3:37 left to go, the Needham Rockets go 63 yards in less than 3.5 minutes to tie this contest at 7-all. Now, if you're thinking about what happens if this game ends in a tie, what happens, Mike Riley?
We'll go to overtime. We'll have 4 plays from the 20-yard line up to the, no, is it the 10-yard line in high school, I believe? Yeah, the 10, and then you got four plays for each team. This is not sudden death.
Eric Morse has got some stats for us.
That's right. Needham racked up 69 yards on that drive. And Mike, you talked about the passing game. 65 coming off the pass on that. 65 passing yards. Up to the fourth quarter, they only had 80 yards. So with that play, 63 yards. So very successful drive by Needham once they start to pass.
So the Needham Rockets, following that song, Save Your Best to Last, doing a great job on the offense as they came alive.
And another Grammy Award presentation for Chris Stevens. I'm telling you, folks, the kid is something else.
So 3:27, plenty of time for the Rockets and the Raiders to play here. Machunsky has had a huge game.
Really has. Really has.
Good kick by Machunsky. Elfman's going to take it at the 10-yard line. Elfman's at the 15, the 20. Nowhere to go. And they're going to call another penalty. It just seems that the Zebras are looking for anything, and on the special teams play, we've had a host of penalties, and the Raiders are going to get called again.
We got them left and right here. We had 4 within a matter of 2 minutes in the first quarter. And there's a kickoff.
You'll see Elfman take it on the right side. He's trying to find a seam here, but he can't. He's got nowhere to go. Miles Walker in on the play, but the Raiders will be moved back. And with 3:20 left to go, the momentum clearly has shifted to the Rockets as the Raiders are buried deep in their own territory.
Well, the Raiders have it on their own 10-yard line.
About the 12, I think, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 12.
Yeah.
Penalty marched off against Wellesley, 1st and 10.
You're saying the 12, I'm saying the 10. The scoreboard says the 11.
So we'll see whether or not the Raiders play here not to lose or if they play to win. They have yet to throw to their tight end.
Something just came off, a little padding.
3:20 left to go. Haluska knows what he wants to do. He's got Elfman and Darrell Warren in the slot. They're looking to pass man across the middle. Oh, John Stewart on the slant.
Riley almost intercepted that one right through his hands. He's killing himself over it now. He wished he had it. He showed his frustration there. Close but no cigar. Broke up the play though.
John Stewart on the slant play.
Riley right through his hands.
And it was
tipped off his fingertip.
Tipped there. Again, on the slant play, the wide receiver just takes a one step upfield and then cuts across the field. Incomplete, stops the clock. So if the Raiders aren't able to do anything here, they may be kicking it back to the Rockets with a lot of time left. Incomplete pass, stops the clock. This time they go back to the run. Stickenberger gets up to maybe the 13, 14-yard line. Man down on the play.
And he's slow to get up too.
Chen has had a tough day.
Yeah, he was slow to get up back downfield before.
3 minutes. We're inside of the 3-minute mark. No gain really on the play. Call it 3rd and 10. Now, if you're Coach Dave Duffy, you don't need to start using timeouts yet. But if they don't get a stop, if they get the stop here, they're going to get great field position.
Yep.
2 minutes, 40 seconds to play.
It's a great game, Chris. Everybody's on their feet. Needham is selling, the fans singing up.
The Raiders are going to get called for too much time if they don't hurry up here. The referee's looking at his watch. They had a long time sending in the substitutions.
And they just got it. Oh!
And
false start.
They finally called timeout. They called 20 seconds because otherwise they were going to get called for a penalty. They were right there.
Very close. I'll bet you there was like 1 second left. I'll bet you there was 1 second left. They just got the timeout. Wellesley was very lucky to get that one off in the nick of time, Chris.
2:24 left to go. The Rocket fans are alive on the far side of the field. The Raider fans are saying some prayers right now. The Raider defense has gone south, and the Rocket defense showed up when they needed them. Haluska gets his instructions. He comes back into the game with Bagai.
The Needham sideline getting everybody up in their feet over there. As you can see, look at the crowd. They're going nuts. I think the whole place has gone nuts. It's going deaf here, Chris.
2:24 left to go. Bagai's in the game. Play action for Haluska. Oh, he throws it over. He's looking for his tight end, Bagai. Again, Bobby Riley on the coverage. And with 2:19 left to go, these Needham Rockets are going to get the ball back. I bet you deep in Raider territory.
Excellent.
Haluska shows play action. He throws back across his body. Bobby Riley made the read, and Bagai could not make the catch.
Excellent defense for Needham. They looked like they, as you said before, Chris, you couldn't have said it better. They're on life support. They've showed up here in the fourth quarter. They're making a statement. They're making a name for themselves, and they're making a threat.
High snap, Elfman, end over end kick. It's going to come down. It gets a favorable Raider bounce. It's only going to go, though, to the 38-yard line, and the Rockets will have 2 minutes and 9 seconds to do something with this. Now, if you're thinking about field goals, they've got a great leg in Matt Machunsky, so if this Rocket offense can pick up 25 yards, they're definitely in Machunsky range.
Absolutely, and too bad Adam Vinatieri was not on the team because he'd definitely be in field goal range right now. But you know what, Chris? The momentum has certainly shifted in Needham's side. Wellesley fans here, they've quieted down tremendously, and I'm sure they're biting their fingernails.
So
I think everybody is.
The 6-4 Needham Rockets against the 7-3 Wellesley Raiders. Machunsky wide to the near side, Murphy wide to the far side. Power I formation in the backfield. Reardon looking to throw the ball again. He's going for it all right now, and it's going to be too far. So it worked twice before, once in the first half to Machunsky, once in the second half. This time Reardon a little bit long on his long distance connection.
Thrown overboard there to Machunsky right over his head. Had a great opportunity to have it, but it was thrown overboard, and it results in 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, clock stops, 2:05 left to go. 7-7 game. Billy Reardon has done a terrific job at quarterback in this second half for the Rockets. They've scored the only offensive touchdown of the game. Hand off to Nah. Nah gets hit at the line of scrimmage and pulled down. Give him 2 yards on the play.
Claiborne.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Reardon gets his instructions. Duffy elects not to use a timeout here at this point yet. 1:47.
Here's a timeout.
1:42.
They should call it.
37-yard line.
Chris.
So the clock is still winding down here, 1:36.
Chris, biggest play in the game right here. Biggest play in the game, I'm telling you.
Well, they're in 4-down territory, so if they don't get it on this one, they'll go for it on the next one.
I've said it the whole day. This is the biggest play of the game.
Murphy wide to the near side. Machunsky at the top of the screen. Single coverage over there with Haluska.
Whoa.
Timeout.
So this time, the Rockets utilized a timeout after they had expended 32 seconds, 1:17 left to go. Better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about that. They wasted all that time and decided to do it at the last minute there, but 1:17 to go. We're still tied here, and it's anybody's ball game. But right now, the Rockets are making a threat, and as I said, Chris, I'm going to reiterate one more time, this is the biggest play in the game. I've said it before, and I'll say it again right now, the biggest play of the game here. They must convert to a first down. If not, they're going to have a hard time getting it off on 4th and 8. Or
so there have
whatever
been several biggest plays of the game,
Yeah.
and each one of them is bigger than the next.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
So the Rockets have a 3rd and 8. The ball is at the 37-yard line. The Raider defense, which has been very aggressive, they never have dropped back a free safety. They don't even have a free safety in the game. They're showing a 5-man front. Reardon looking at Machunsky. He's going for it all. It's a floater.
Oh!
No call. So single coverage by Haluska. Machunsky looked like he had a step. It'll be 4th and 8. And as I said, we're definitely 4-down territory. They've had a couple of big 3rd down conversions. Let's see if they can do it on 4th down with 1 left to go in a tie game.
They're going to go for it, as you said.
Good coverage there
No,
by
they're going to punt. They're going to punt. Needham's going to punt this one away.
Well, I guess they feel that why give the Raiders field position at the 37 when you can bury it, and maybe the Raiders will fumble. So,
yeah, exactly.
Again, the chess game continues.
Game of strategy.
At least it looks like they're going to punt. Machunsky only back about 10 yards, trying to maybe draw off the Raiders, and he skies it. It looks like Elfman lets it go. It goes into the end zone. So the Raiders will actually only lose 8 yards on the play, and they'll get the ball at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 1:01 left to go in a tie game. If you're thinking big plays from the Wellesley Raiders, their offense is not conducive to a big play. Their wide receivers, Pollock and Stewart, are most often really decoys for the power running game. But the running game is not good if you only got a minute to go.
Yep.
The tight end, James Bagai, had a look from Haluska on the last set of downs. We'll see if he looks at him again.
Well, we saw the field conditions earlier with the slip and slide on the receiving. Didn't see it that time. Wellesley lucky to get themselves a touchback.
Wellesley usually runs the double handoff, or what I call the scissor play, at least once in a critical situation. We'll see if they do it deep in their own territory. Haluska play action. He throws it against his body. And again, just so hard for these kids to throw the football. Haluska not having a good throwing day, and with 56 seconds to go, the clock stops. Another free timeout for the Rockets.
Again, another slip and slide there, Chris. The field conditions really playing a factor here this afternoon with 56 seconds to play. And John Stewart now coming in there at the wide receiver position for the Raiders.
We now, again, misdirection is going to be the only thing that's going to probably fool this Rocket team right now, because they are keying on the run.
That's what it looks like. Got a blitz.
They throw it back across the green. It's Elfman. Elfman trying to get away. Eludes one man. Elfman trying to get down the sidelines. Andrew Elfman gets out of bounds. There are no flags on the field that I can see, and with 44 seconds to go, the Raiders have new life. Andrew Elfman gets up to the 44-yard line, where it will be 1st and 10 Raiders.
Elfman was lucky to break that tackle. You'll see in a minute from Brian Nichols. Got right by Nichols. You'll see here's a pass to Elfman, and Brian Nichols right in his case. Couldn't quite get it, though. Elfman got some great field position, but they're still in their own territory with 44 seconds to go. Tie game.
So a big play by Elfman and Haluska. Great ball fake by Haluska, throwing it back across his body. We talked about that it had to be misdirection in order for them to be able to make the conversion.
Yep.
They did it here.
Needham had the blitz too.
So Haluska. Offense is packed tight in. Elfman in motion. He gives it to Snickerberger. I'm not sure why, unless you're just playing to run out the clock.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
39 seconds left to go.
Matt Walsh.
Have we ever had overtime in this game?
Yes, there's been overtime a couple of times in this game. Actually, the last overtime game.
Yeah, get that out there, yeah. Could happen.
Survey says the last overtime game, or the only overtime game, was in 1994 when the Rockets won 13-10.
Wow.
So that is the only overtime game we've had.
Wow. So 11 years later, it could happen, but still plenty of time here for Wellesley with the timeout, Chris. And
well, anything can happen here, Mike, because you know if the Raiders decide to go for it, as the Rockets did before, it was an interception where the Raiders got their score. I mean, the defense could score here just as easy as the offense could.
Absolutely, and Needham's defense coming to light here all of a sudden. But that they had the blitzer on Elfman, which then he got through for the first down. But the blitzer, I really thought that Haluska was going to be sacked. But Elfman was lucky. He broke a few tackles and found a lot of running room.
Give the senior credit. He's
absolutely.
Not having a great passing day. Been hard to hold the ball, but so they went for the safe pass. But a nice call by head coach Bill Tracy on the misdirection gave the Raiders new life.
Needham is telling them all to get up. Wellesley's telling everybody to get up. It's loud. I can't hear a thing.
39 seconds to go. Haluska calling out the signals. Has got Warren in motion. He play action. He's looking across somebody. He's going to throw it deep on the sideline. He's got a man out there. It's Elfman. Elfman's got the ball. 31 seconds to go. The clock stops. The ball is at the 23-yard line. Haluska with a terrific pass to Elfman. So the Raiders take timeout. They've got 31 seconds. If you're thinking kicking, Nick Linkow, who has an injured leg, has struggled the last couple of weeks. What a great catch by Elfman.
There's no doubt in my mind that Matt Machensky would have broken that play up if he did not slip. The field conditions play a factor in the end here, and Machensky has slipped. He would have broken that up, in my opinion, maybe even intercepted it.
Great job by Elfman, though.
Excellent catch.
The fact is that the Raiders were able to convert it. They've got the ball down now actually to the 33-yard line with 31 seconds left to go. The sun is coming out a little bit, but it's not going to help the footing in any time to be able to help anybody on this field. The cleats are full of mud. The fans are full of cheer. Haluska's got a 1st and 10. Man in motion is Elfman. Play action. He's looking. He's got a man out there. Again, it's Snickerberger. Snickerberger's at the 20. Mark Snickerberger's at the 10. He gets out of bounds at the 10-yard line. With 20 seconds left to go, I don't see any flags on the field.
Nope.
They go back across the green to their fullback, Mark Snickerberger, and Dan Haluska, who struggled up until this drive. The drive started on the 20. They are now down to the 5-yard line with 20 seconds left to go. So the Rockets take a timeout here to talk about it.
Needham, I don't know if you want to push the panic button right now, but you got to worry a little bit here. They don't. They get it right on the 5-yard line. A great play by Snickenberger there, and they're now 5 yards away from taking the lead here in this game.
Well, the Wellesley Raiders still have, I believe, at least 3 timeouts. They had to call one when they were in a little bit of disarray offensively. This drive started on the 20-yard line with, I want to say, 2:12 left to go in this game. They have driven it down on the strength of 2 passes from Haluska to Elfman, one to the right side, one to the left side, and then a terrific call and a pass to Mark Snickenberger, the junior fullback, rumbles down to the 5-yard line, where the Raiders now have a 1st and goal from the 5 with only 20 seconds remaining in the contest.
80 yards and 40 seconds. I don't know if you just heard that from Eric Morris there. The Raiders.
Morris's stat tells us 80 yards and 40 seconds.
Yep. Making a statement there, Chris.
Actually, it's 75 yards because they've got 5 more to go to pay dirt. They usually go to Darrell Warren down here. They kick it out to Warren. Warren pushes forward. Touchdown, Raiders.
Wow.
So with 16 seconds left to go in the game on a drive that started on their own 20-yard line, the Wellesley Raiders drive 80 yards in about 45 seconds and take a 13-7 lead over a very, very dejected and disappointed Needham Rocket team that has played valiantly today, but this one still ain't over, Mike.
I don't know, 16 seconds, Chris. I don't know. Better hope for a kickoff return.
So, Ravelson with the hold, Walker with the snap, Linkow with the extra point.
Ooh.
It is up, and it is good.
Just
so
got
with
the hold.
16 seconds left to go in the game, this was one of those games that you almost wish that it would end in a tie because both teams have played so valiantly, but right now, obviously, the Raiders have got the edge.
Coming right down to the last minute there, Ravelson with a great carry into the end zone for 5 yards, and the Raiders take the 14-7 lead. A lot of people starting to leave now, but this one is not over. But again, 16 seconds. I don't know if that's enough time to do a lot of damage here, Chris.
Well, Eric Morris, the stat, gave us the numbers. The Wellesley offense, which had been stymied by a very rejuvenated Needham defense, were able to find their passing game, and they had not been able to pass the entire game. So, I mean, you sometimes live by the pass, you die by the pass. It looks like that they certainly have availed themselves well here in the last 45 seconds.
Absolutely, and 40 seconds for 80 yards for the Raiders.
So Nick Linkow will take it
over.
away. He's got 16 seconds left to go.
Just looking at the Needham side there, the sideline, they're stunned. Tony DeChico trying to get everybody back on their feet, and the fans are just stunned.
In a seesaw battle.
Really was.
Both teams able to muster excellent drives in the second half. Both teams did it with the pass.
Absolutely. Passing game does so much more than the run.
Miles Walker hoping to run one all the way back. Linkow does a pooch kick. It's going to come to Walker at the...
Marshall Poland.
Marshall Poland. And Poland gets it about the 26-yard line. And the Rockets will need a miracle here with 12 seconds left to go.
Gonna have to Hail Mary in this one, Chris. You don't have a choice. Gotta do it.
Well, you know, defensive penalties can sometimes give you a lot of yardage very, very quickly.
Wellesley called the timeout.
Well, they want to make sure that they don't get a fast play on them. And they also, the defensive coordinator, defensive coach John Griffith wants to make sure his guys understand you cannot give up anything deep. No penalties, no holding, no nothing. If you're a Raider fan, if you're a Rocket fan, you're thinking, okay, what do we need to do to pull one out of the hat here?
Yeah, well, I think the only hope right now is a Hail Mary. But I don't know if you'll have enough time for 2 plays. You'll be lucky to get 1 off. If it's going to be maybe 1, you can definitely get 2.
This
tough, though.
This tradition, which again, this is the 118th edition. The Wellesley Raiders lead at 56 wins. The Needham Rockets 52 wins. 9 have ended in ties. There's only been 1 overtime win. That was by the Needham Rockets. It's been a rivalry of streaks since 1988. Mm-hmm. The Raiders won 4 games, and then the Rockets won 5 games, and then the Raiders won 4 games, and then it's been kind of a seesaw every other year the last 3 years.
Rockets with an emotional victory last year, after they learned of the tragic death of their former captain, Greg Gano. That game was played in memory of him last year. Actually, his anniversary was yesterday.
So Machunsky will come wide to the near side. Murphy is at the top of your screen. Or is that Kelleher?
Kelleher.
So Reardon calling out the signals. He's looking deep. He's got pressure. He's being chased. The ball's on the carpet.
Ball game.
And with 6 seconds left to go, Thomas Claiborne ends his high school career.
Well,
and he'll end it with a victory, as do these other Wellesley seniors. Certainly a very disappointing loss for the Needham Rockets, but wow, what a game.
You can see the sign of frustrations right now coming from Needham. You got James Naur out there, just threw his helmet to the ground. Also, number 67, Mike Jakes. Just a very frustrating ending here for Needham. And congratulations to Wellesley. They come out the victors here today. As you can see across the way, a mass exit for Needham, but Wellesley, they'll be celebrating into the twilight hours tonight.
Well, the Raiders will finish the season 8-3, and after disappointing losses, lopsided losses to Newton North, Natick, and Walpole, they were able to come back and prevail against Norwood 28-14 2 weeks ago, and it looks like they're going to prevail against their arch rival, the Needham Rockets. They'll take a knee here. Both teams left it all out in the field, gang, and this is what you love to see in high school sports.
Well, we saw a lot of dirty play at first, but now you'll see a class of sportsmanship by everybody shaking their hands right now, Chris. That just goes to show you that both teams respect each other so much, even with the dirty talk before, even with the nasty tackles before, even with every interception and all the bad stuff that happened. They both have a sign of respect, and they all have sportsmanship, and they all have class.
Well, they will shake hands, form the line, and they will depart from this field. Mother Nature dealt them a blow here early when she put snow all over the field, and the conditions were going to be nasty. And you know, it's very, very difficult in these kind of situations. It's the last game of the year. You always want to end the game as a winner, but the truth is that only one team can win in terms of the scoreboard. But Mike Riley, I know it sounds trite, but both of these teams, both of these programs won today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the record book, it'll say Wellesley with the win, but you know what? I agree with you 100%. There's Bobby Riley right there, his final game ever in the football program for Needham. And the Rockets finish at 6-5. They do get a winning record in 2005. That's the big thing for them. They played some unbelievable football this year, and a classic today coming in favor of Wellesley.
So a memorable one here at Hunnewell Field will conclude with the Wellesley Raiders driving 80 yards in 45 seconds to score, and they will prevail today 14-7 over the Needham Rockets. For Mark Mandel, for Mike Riley, for Eric Morris, the stat,
thanks,
and
Chris.
Everybody at the Needham chat and the Wellesley channel, thanks so much to all the volunteers who've made this production following us. Again, with the final score, the Wellesley Raiders 14, the Needham Rockets 7. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.